frame. Here we go. I like how your recording's gonna have me waiting on my recording. Oh, here we go, everyone. Welcome back to Spelljammer 998. I believe we have hit session 25. The big 25. Congratulations, y'all. We're either a fourth or like 85% of the way through. Who knows? No, I'm just kidding. Not quite that. 85% is a big joke. But last time on Spelljammer 998, you guys finished ransacking the old hideout that Oswald Thorntree used back when he seemed to have been some sort of amateur eco-terrorist. And you guys made sure there were no more, sitting around. No more intellect devourers or anything of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. Pardon. Before, ransacking is a bad word. Y'all collected some crates of gold, things of that nature. Before you guys decided to go out, I think, shopping. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys go back to Mantis HQ. Excuse me, Randy gets to practice with his revolver. Y'all took off of Vimek. Before you guys took a crack at trying to decipher some of the paperwork you found in Oswald's hideout. I shouldn't say Oswald. Oswald's hideout. Fake Oswald's hideout. Before you guys managed to get a fair amount of information from it, but you had to go back at it the next day to get the rest of the information. You eventually produced an address from this document that seems to be in some of the very low depths of Sharn. And a kind of confidence from these letters that you guys didn't particularly like. It seemed a little scary. Sounds like they've got something cooking down there. Before you guys did eventually go on your little brief shopping run, but before that, you returned to the Cathedral of the Silver Flame. You guys made Yatana Moore puke, which I thought was hilarious. But you also turned over most of an intellect devourer corpse. And got paid for not only exonerating the church, the intellect devourer seemed to serve as enough evidence to exonerate the church. You also got paid for the corpse itself, for its kind of alchemical properties, its research. The research possibilities. I think that's all y'all did with her. You got your money, you made her puke, it was very funny. You guys went out to get some foodstuffs. That's what I call shopping, looking for foodstuffs. And you guys went back, you guys sold Surge's spear. You went back to the Sharn Barn. You guys talked to Arma about armor you could put on Chief Ringo. And I think you guys ended up deciding you didn't want to purchase any metal armor instead, which you still can do, but you guys decided to wait on that, as Arma told you guys that generally the best source of chitin, when asked about a chitinous armor, the best source of chitin comes from these massive centipedes that live in the deep deserts throughout several planet systems. It seems like you guys are interested in going to perhaps harvest these things. Y'all were told that they produce a massive amount of resources, etc., etc. Drix understands, being a Thrycreen that grew up in the desert. These things are the cream of the crop when it comes to hunting creatures, trophy creatures, things of that nature. Before going back to the headquarters, Randy spent a little more time shooting his shot, as I put in the notes, while Drix spent some time with Chief Ringo, and impressed upon him that he's now part of a powerful clutch, which Ringo seemed pleased with. Eventually, you guys made your way back you guys went to Moorgrave. You consulted a professor who was able to verify that whatever I should back up further. Drix reached out to the implant you found in the back of Surge's neck and was able to identify that it was a conduit for a massive amount of information. It was difficult to tell exactly what it did, but you all seem to gather this is probably where the missing information was coming from that you guys could not decipher from the notes. You guys went to professor at Moorgrave, who expounded on the idea that whatever this was apparently crafted from psionics and crafted with a specific purpose. He seemed to think that something like this could only really be possible by some creature capable of grasping high-level psionics. Before returning to Vera's warehouse, where you guys explained to her everything that happened, you told her about the intellect devourers. She paid you guys not only for your work, but you gather from her verbiage for watching A1 as long as you had. You guys also got her to agree to provide you with a husk of an auto gnome if you wanted to use it as bait or for any other plan. Before eventually going to visit Sly, make sure there's nothing else big that you guys did with Vera. Doesn't look like it. You guys then went to the Diamond Theater to speak to Sly and kind of update him on the situation of what was going on. Y'all had quite a bit of conversation with Sly. You guys got your Naga skull back. You guys gave him the ciphered version of the documents that you had, so that his people could look over it, the Royal Eyes. But other than that, there was mostly conversation about how he spoke his, what you believe to be his stance. He encouraged you guys. The biggest thing probably is he encouraged you guys, if you find yourselves in a situation to prevent the secrets of the Autognomes from falling into the wrong hands, he encouraged you all to do so. He also encouraged you guys that he is on your side and that he has no interest in upsetting the peace in Breland.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is where we left off. Anything I forgot? Questions, comments, shenanigans, shots?
Did you say shots?
It's like party loss. I want us to take a shot now.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It used to be someone said shots 3 years ago. Yeah, Joey can tell you. Someone would go shots, and then we'd all take shots. It was awful. Anyway,
Yeah, that was pretty awful.
Ben remembers. All right.
I don't
Sounds
think there's anything we missed. I don't know about shenanigans, so I'm good.
It's okay. We're starting late. There's not much time for shenanigans. Till everyone gets here, and it's like 1:15 in the morning, and then it's nothing but shenanigans. That's okay. That's my fault. I was watching a recording from last week, and I was like, from 1 to 1:30 was like 12-ish minutes of playing, and the rest was shenanigans. That's okay though. It was late. We were tired. It's all fine. I ain't scared. All right. Sounds like you guys don't have any of the above mentioned things. We are still in the Diamond Theater. You are still in the box with Sly. It is later into the night. You guys saw a night show, so we're probably in, after your conversation with Sly, y'all can think, somewhere early 11 o'clock, almost midnight. We will start in the box. If you guys have any more questions, comments, or concerns for Sly?
Dude, will you tell Sly about the megapedes? I can't remember if we talked about that or not.
No, you didn't talk about that.
It might benefit
If we
us
bring it up.
to bring
We
it up.
told somebody. We told the Sharn Barn, or we asked about. They told us about the megapedes. I thought we told somebody else.
I think maybe we were trying to infer something about them, and I don't remember. But I don't think we
Hold on
told
a
Sly
second.
about them, as far as I can remember.
Was it? It was between the Sharn Barn and Lifter. Did we tell Lifter about him?
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
I thought we did.
No, I thought we sold Lifter illicit information.
Yeah, that's the main. I know for sure we stopped at those two places. I don't know if we asked anything about the bugs while we were at those locations. It's very possible. I think Devin might be having some issues. Can you hear us?
Or he's trying to look and see if
There's
we told
sound,
anybody else.
There's sound coming from somewhere, and I can't tell if it's my computer, my wife's computer.
I don't
It's
hear
not,
it.
It's not you, and y'all don't hear it. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get it to stop. I don't know where it's coming from.
He's gonna go crazy.
I'm under the floorboard.
I think I've fucked some
Nevermore.
shit up. I think it's one of Brandon's. Tracks, and I fucked shit up. I don't understand why or what's going on here.
Oh.
If I'm-
No,
Like, I've closed out of that. I fixed it. Sorry.
Anyway,
Took me a minute. Several tabs to look through before I found it. Y'all can still hear music though, right?
Yeah, I got the music.
Cool. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, it sounds like y'all were discussing while I was having a mild panic attack. How would y'all like to proceed?
if We haven't
You-
asked Sly
you don't-
about the megapedes. I want to see what he knows about them, because we found some information out, like a little bit, right? We know somebody told us that they have ranged attacks, and somebody told us that they can do poison stuff. I don't know who it was.
You were told that they seem to be magical. Y'all were told that they seem to be magical, and you were told that they're big and poisonous, which is fine. Did that roll? Balls. All right, that roll doesn't count. Odd or even?
Odd, always odd. I don't know. Oh no.
So, after a couple of minutes slices, I have heard vague rumors of very large millipedes and things of that nature, but that's pretty far out of my wheelhouse, friend. Never fought one myself. With some time, I might could gather some intel.
But you maybe want like a megapede claw or something for your wall? Give us some money. A head?
you-
A megapede head?
Think about this. How
Maybe to use on the theater stage for one of your performances?
Oh god.
Centipede Spelljammer. Centipede Spelljammer.
I'm just imagining like the dragons they do,
Okay.
you know, where somebody's controlling the head, but it's just like
Exactly.
a decapitated megapede head with like a bunch of people dressed up as legs behind it.
Now you understand props are not worth a terrible amount. Spoiler alert, he doesn't know how big this thing is. Now if you had surplus supplies, that would be worth something to me or the eyes.
How long you reckon it'd take you to get a little info? We talking like a day, 2 days, a week? I don't know how long this normally takes. You seem pretty capable. I assume it could be quick.
We are somewhat engaged with some of the prior investigations y'all have set us upon. But I could have it in a day or two, if it's that important. I have to ask, why y'all asking? Y'all seem pretty well to do. Is this just, you looking for more coin?
It's the sport.
I can respect
Thrill of
that.
the hunt.
He looks at Cade. Psychopaths.
I look back at him though, I'm like, but the way you phrase that, it sounds like you might have something else we could do for coin. Were you proposing?
I have offered, perhaps I should be more clear. I encouraged you all to dig into the events that you are investigating, the blackout in this lower area of Sean. Whatever was going on with these creatures that are not warforged, you will be recompensed handsomely for any information you bring back about these events.
Okay, fair enough.
That being said, I understand that folk like you enjoy the hunt, as Echo has said. But it is difficult sometimes to get that information when many of your agents are otherwise engaged in serious espionage.
Well, I'm gonna shoot you straight, buddy. This is kind of serious for us too. See, we got a new friend. His name is Chief Ringo, and it's very important for him to wear something that would feel familiar, accustomed a little bit. You know, I don't want to put him in something hokey and metal. We got to get something real. And it sounds like killing one of these will let us put some extra armor on her to make sure my buddy stays safe. So it's kind of important to us. That changes anything for you.
Are you talking about that gnome that I've seen with you all occasionally?
Heck no, not that guy. Like, he's fine. We keep him safe. You should meet him sometime, by the way. If you want to swing by the house tomorrow, I'll introduce you to Chief Ringo.
You keep him safe. Huh. You have entered a contract to guard this auto gnome? This gnome must be an important VIP to warrant such eclectic bodyguards.
Were you talking about the beetle? Or
He's asking
Okay,
questions
well,
about different.
Sly looks very confused because he doesn't know who Chief Ringo is, so he's over here like, huh?
Oh, fine. I want it to be a surprise. He's a giant rhino beetle with some cool big horns, but he's very important to my kinfolk, the bug type. That's Chief Ringo. You can
We're
still
gonna
come see
ride
him
him
if you
into
want.
battle.
I was about to say, Sly gives you all a very long look. He is not fooled by your misdirection. Burp. Pardon. Hope y'all can't hear that. My recording might, but he's not fooled by your misdirection, but he says, y'all purchased a mascot of sorts. That's mighty cute. Y'all do as y'all wish to honor
Make
your
him more of a
friend
mount, but
there.
whatever.
That's a good response. You do all as y'all wish with your friend there. It's always good to have some raw muscle to watch your back. I'll see what I can do. Check back in by message in a day or two, and I'll do my best to provide.
All right, fair enough. I heard a rumor that these things might be poisonous. While you're digging into it, you got anything that might help us be a little more sturdy against being poisoned? If not, you know where we can find some.
Now, a concrete piece of equipment like that is much easier to get. Come back tomorrow, and I can provide you all some potions that can help with poison. You're on mute, Brandon.
Can we get him before from him?
I don't think it was from him. I think you guys bought some.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember us getting some. I was trying to save the gold if he can get it for us.
Pretty sure y'all bought some. That was very
feel
smart
like-
of you to ask. That's definitely something your agency would be able to provide.
I don't have
So, stakeout? Stake out the blackout?
Oh yeah.
I nail
We
like that.
want to go. We want to go straight there tonight. Do we want to go rest first? It's late, right? It's like 11.
It is, yeah. 11:30 at this point after y'all are talking to him. Y'all have one more quest in your quest journal.
Hmm.
It's hard to keep pacing and not keep adding stuff, but I'll shut up for now. I'll wait till later. Just to show the cards in my hand a little bit. Doesn't matter if y'all go do this instead. So you are welcome to go stake out. You can go take a rest. You can go almost anywhere. There are some places that are still open in Sharn, particularly in the red light districts. But most of the shops and stuff would be closed, things of that nature. If there's not any more questions, that you have for Sly, he would tell you, Dos Equis, man, make me burp. I appreciate you all coming with the information that you have. As I reiterated earlier in the night, that is the primary motivation behind our relationship. I understand there are things you may not trust in the hands of the eyes. But I hope you understand that we are not here to cause chaos. If there's anything else I can do for you, besides the potions, please let me know.
Will do.
Almost sarcastically salute. You got it, partner.
As you guys kind of file out of the box, you can see Cade, who's not said anything the whole time, looks not worried, but you can kind of see the apprehension on his face. That, Sly mentioned last week they've dug into something that makes even the eyes kind of go, oh shit. He looks, I think some of you would have a passive insight enough, or maybe would know Cade well enough, that he looks a little nervous. He looks a little worried about you guys. I'd like to think maybe even like you guys go out of the box, and he also I guess they don't know anything about health. He's like lighting a cigarette as y'all are leaving. Hand rolled cigarette, back in the day. But he kind of nods at you all, gives you each a nod as you walk out. Those of you that make eye contact with him, I guess I should say. You guys file out of the box and make your way back to Mantis HQ. Y'all go wherever y'all want, I guess. I should.
He dropped a nugget. I'm gonna stop for a second on the way out. He's propped up against a door, I guess. Probably like right outside.
Yeah,
the
that's
med.
gonna imagine mostly what he does. Yeah.
I'll sort of skitter around the other side of him, up against the wall, lean up against it like he is. Look at him for a second. Tip the brim of the hat that I now own that he gave me. Say, "You're looking a little long there, partner. Is everything all right?"
Kind of looks up and like he finishes lighting a cigarette, and he does the when you light a cigarette you got to pull a lot of air through it, so he lets all the extra smoke out of his mouth, and he says, "I can't believe you put holes in my good hat like that." And then he says, I've never seen Mr. Sly this worried. Things are a little things seem to be a little tense among the eyes there, partner. I hope you guys hadn't got in over your heads.
Which part seems so concerning? Is it the all the ooky spooky stuff going on with the brains, blackouts? Is that what we're so worried about?
I think the problem is that we don't even know if that's connected, friend. The water's been muddied so much that even Mr. Sly's having trouble looking into it, and that's worrying, friend. He's rather sharp himself, and if he's having trouble discerning what's going on, then whoever is behind it, if it's the same person behind it, is much better than very good at what they do. I just don't want you to get hurt. I like to see you all do well. Be honest, I'm glad I heard that y'all is sorry, I keep getting too low. Be honest, I'm glad that y'all are considering other lines of work, like this big old centipede thing y'all keep talking about. It would be safer for you all ins to be wild spacers more than investigators.
What?
The NPCs don't always speak for the DM. They have their own thoughts and motivations.
He seemed to hold his cards pretty close. I know he seemed a little concerned, but I didn't pick up on way too much. Do you think there's anything we need to know about? Is there anything more going on that we're not quite privy to?
Think about this. Make a persuasion check with advantage, since you're role playing with me and stuff, and I should reward that kind of thing.
Okay, well, take the 16 over the 4
Cool.
for sure.
Yeah, I saw the 4. I was like, the 4 would be like Randy doing something super gross, Thrycreen thing that he just doesn't know is gross because he's a Thrycreen. But since you got a 16, he says, I think he kind of looks at Sly. You can tell at this point everyone's probably filed out of the room. Sly probably left the room. I don't think he would continue to sit there while y'all were talking. And he says, he kind of like ducks around the door to look to make sure Sly's not like on the other side of the door. And he says, I think he's worried about the VIP that you all went and escorted. If they is Warforged or something like Warforged being made by another organization, they would covet the knowledge that he has, and he is as safe as we can make him, but that doesn't mean he's entirely safe.
Well, I reckon that's something we're still digging into a little bit, but tell you what, Cade, I like you a bit, so me and you will keep talking. I'll keep you privy on what's going on. I kind of trust the big guy a little bit more too now, so don't get me wrong. It's a healthy relationship in my opinion. There's just a few more question marks with him there are with you, I think. So we'll stay in touch. Thanks for the chat.
Sure, I understand. I imagine by this time you reached the end of his cigarette. He kind of like marks it off, maybe like, or what's it called? Ashes it, rubs it off against his hip. Pardon. He says, I appreciate that, friend. I think we can have a pipeline of communication. Mr. Sly is not entirely related to, but for what it's worth, I do believe he doesn't intend to cause any kind of major commotion here in Shar. It does seem to be his job to keep things mostly normal, but he does have to report to other people in the eyes, and we can't speak for them. I appreciate your caution, friend.
I'm gonna say, between you and me, don't take this the wrong way. Something about the way he looks, I just don't like it. Anyway, I'm gonna.
That's racist.
I'm gonna make myself.
Coming from
scarce.
the giant bug, yeah. Coming from the giant bug. Get out of here, friend.
Preen my antennas a little bit and look around. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look perfectly normal. I'm totally safe.
He shakes his head. Lets you go on your way. Do you know where else you guys would like to stop in the dead of the night before you go back to Menace HQ?
I mean, if Echo wants to go do a stakeout in the middle of the night, I'm down. I ain't afraid of nothing.
I love it.
Yeah, I think we should get all hours, you know. Chances are, if it is shady, they're not going to be doing stuff at 10 a.m. You
I
know?
have a quick
Good
question.
point.
What is the current date?
The 19th of Ron. Let me double check that. I haven't updated the calendar. Shame on me. It is the 19th of Ron. Midnight will be the 20th of Ron.
So we do have to make sure we get that rest tonight for a long rest. The reason I mentioned
Is that? I see.
20,
Is that?
yeah.
See. You have to get it's the night of the 19th. So tomorrow night you guys will get your long rest.
Okay, cool. That makes me feel better. I didn't want to like stay out a little too late and miss a
And get
long rest
exhausted.
by
That's
some
fair.
goofy chance.
That's fair.
Well, mechanics-wise, if we did do that, let's say it was tonight, would it not just be a long rest the next time we rested?
Good question.
Wow, put me in the bind there, Brendan.
Hey,
I'm
broke
gonna
it.
say,
Because if it's every 6 or 7 days or whatever,
yeah, it's technically every 3 days for you guys, but like there has to be some kind of repercussions for. So I would think no. So the way it would go now is y'all could technically, going by the rules I was about to use, by the interpretation I was about to use, you guys could stay up for 3 days in a row and you wouldn't take any exhaustion. But when that long rest hit, if you guys stayed up that night, you would take a level of exhaustion. So that's kind of the thing here, is that if you guys stay up tonight, you're okay. If you stay up tomorrow night, you will get a level of exhaustion.
And not to put even scarier thoughts in your head, but I think if I recall correctly, you did say that they had to. Originally, the rules were even more strict, I believe, in that it was like you had to take 3 subsequent short rests to get the long rest. We might have laxed back on that, and that's why we use the calendar now. But I believe that's the way we were originally playing it. I don't know.
I don't think so. No, it's the wording is every 3rd short rest is a long rest, or something very close to that.
Okay.
But you know that Brandon makes a good point. The rules for exhaustion and stuff get wonky when you start fucking with that. And an interpretation that's better for you guys is that if you miss a long rest, which is every 3 days, you get exhausted instead of missing a short rest, which is more realistic. But we're not worried about that as much. Totally not. Don't want to
Not
listen to
tonight
Joey bitch about it.
Hmm.
Sorry, I had
not
to pick
that
on
I
Joey.
necessarily have a problem with it. I do think we're just playing the same track over and over, not necessarily a playlist.
We are right now.
Okay,
I can't fix
just
it.
wanted.
I couldn't fix it before we got started. Sorry.
It's fine.
When Joey gets back in here, I think he can fix it.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with it.
I will change you to something when we start to fight. I will change it to something that's not loop.
Hells yeah.
Or I'll do my best to. I'll turn the mode off, actually. See if that fixes it. Anyway. I think Joey just has them all everything play on a loop, regardless of what's
Right.
going on.
So, in my opinion,
So,
we do a little stakeout tonight before we do anything with the autonome husk thing that we might have that we're going to use as bait. stuff like that. Just see what the happenings are around the area.
Yep.
Okay.
I will ask one quick question before we go. And again, there's no definitive knowledge on our part whether or not these things are even connected. But would we have known? Did we glean enough about the intellect devourers to understand like why we couldn't surprise them? Is that like something we learned from that interaction?
Really, actually.
Okay.
No, I will say no.
In that case, let's go do a stakeout, fellers.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I was about to ask Zephyr and Drix what they thought about this plan, but I just heard a 3 out of 4 with Drix's response as 3 out of 4. Hi, Burb.
Well, neither Drix nor Zephyr need to sleep, anyways.
Yeah, I can just meditate.
Ooh, Barb's in the car.
Oh.
Yeah, be driving. I'm almost home.
Be safe for him.
Playing it through the radio.
That's fair. Be safe for him. Don't play D&D and drive if you're too sleepy.
Oh, I'm not
Et cetera,
driving.
et cetera.
Hannah's driving, so we're good.
Bless!
Driving
Hi.
and Dragons? Or Dungeons and
Joey's done
Dragons?
it before. Joey's done it
Oh,
before.
I like Dungeons and Driving. Dungeons and Driving.
Alright, anyway. Alright, here we go. Sounds like y'all are all agreed you're gonna go stake out this place. And it's pretty far
Go
down into the depths of Sharn. You guys have to go, like, pretty much to the bottom of the lowest district. To get... I like to imagine... Y'all are professionals at this point. Doesn't take you a... Oh. First. Y'all asleep? Y'all are going to die. I'm sorry. Oh. It is a little more difficult, so you guys have to, like... maybe go back to Chance for a short minute to get actual directions to where you're trying to go. But you guys make your way back down into what is pretty much the bottom of the lower parts of Sharn. You're about as close to the cogs, which is the kind of the lava pools underneath Sharn, have the cogs. It's a big, think of it like a foundry district, a big industrial district. You're about as close to the cogs as you can get without being in the cogs. This is where all the kind of shanty towns and slums and most, the highest concentration of those things would be. You guys drift your way down there. It takes you a little bit of time. It's probably well past midnight before you guys, maybe almost close to 1 o'clock, before you guys get into the area, the ward, if you will, that you guys are looking for.
Speaking of drifting, before we get too close, I'm going to use the Shadow Globe to pop Pass Without Trace.
Oh, so here's the thing. I need to pee really fast, but then when I come back, we can definitely get into this. I know Joey will be here at any moment. So I'm going to pee real quick before we get into this. If y'all want to take that a couple of minutes to decide how you approach this area. Maybe to give you guys a better idea. As you get closer, it seems to be... How do I quantify the size of this for you guys? As you get closer, you find it to be very, very tucked away and secluded. You guys, as you get closer and look, you can tell that it's going to be not yard size, but a little bigger. You guys eventually figure out, I like to imagine it doesn't become clear until you kind of look at the very dirty and decrepit signs that are in this lower district of Sharn, that you seem to be approaching maybe a cul-de-sac sized area. Based on the naming conventions, it seems to be either a very small neighborhood or a very small section of the city. So here we go, y'all. Did y'all make any plans while I was gone? I think regardless, well, yeah.
We all plan on going to the bathroom too.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we did.
It is break time, so I assumed we all had to pee. So, are y'all approaching stealthily? Is my real question here. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
assuming y'all are trying to approach stealthily. So let's start with stealth
Almost
checks. You guys are still definitely encouraged to tell me in a little more detail how you'd like to approach. Let me look at the map. Maybe I can give you guys.
I feel like once again, not in a large group together.
Well, the only problem with that is that I do have Pass Without Trace active, so if we get too far apart, it might cause issues. Unless somebody
Yeah,
wants
that's
to
a
be a
good
lead
point.
scout.
Yeah, so here's what's going on. You guys are definitely in a section of Lower Sharn that is a shanty town of tents. You've reached such a lower depths that the housing and stuff, the most of the buildings decrepit, mostly collapsed. Most of the housing and stuff would be seem to have been made of tents, ramshackle lean-tos, and things of that nature. It is, refuse and garbage pretty much everywhere. And you guys get, as you get closer to the address, you find yourself in this kind of, I guess you would call it a slum. Let me see how y'all did. A
Let's roll,
25 for Zephyr, yes sir. A 29, a 30. Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna pop my carapace so I can roll
Yeah.
the advantage.
I was gonna say we should probably pop our Garapai as well.
Get that advantage roll. Yeah.
29.
Carapaces.
The carapaces. This is
Is it carapace or carapaces?
it's the old
Would it be
octopus octopi.
carapaci?
It turns out it's octopuses.
It is octopi though.
I don't know. I rolled twice. God, did it?
I thought it was
Ow.
octopode.
Octopi.
Those are 2 extras.
Thanks, babe. Okay, let me check. No, I'm trying to get Joe's sheet pulled up real quick. He does not get advantage, but he gets a plus 10. Not very stealthy. That's okay. So I see several for Drix and Cordo. I see Zephyrs. Okay.
Yeah, just do the first.
28. Wow, y'all. Okay. Thanks to you guys gather. Thanks to Randy's pass without a trace. Thanks to Randy's thoughts to activate one of your pieces of equipment. You guys managed to creep up pretty close to the area that you guys are looking for. And I have y'all's passive perception somewhere. I need to check something, see if anybody...
Is it Drix has the
Notices.
highest?
I think it is Drix.
I got a 12.
Perception. Demos is technically the highest, 13.
Passive?
Yeah.
Sure, we're looking at perception.
Oh, no. I'm not looking at perception. Thanks,
Yeah.
Bram. Okay.
That dude's got the smallest PP I've ever seen.
Hey, dude. Randy, I like to think it's more of a... You just get the heebie-jeebies. Like, as you guys are moving closer, like, there's something out there on the perimeter, kind of, like, that like, it's just this weird, eerie feeling, Randy, that you've snuck by something you didn't see either. Before you guys come upon a section that is rather dark. At this time of the night, let me think about this. This is going to be fun. Let's take a vote. Odd or even?
Odd. Everybody
Odd.
always says odd,
Yeah.
but I don't want to.
Yeah, it's odd.
All
You know
right.
it's odd.
Odd.
All right. Odd. There
Ow!
is a small fire. Now, this is kind of odd. Like I said, this is a very ramshackle tent, shanty town kind of area, but you do see what appears to be one of the larger tents has some kind of fire burning in it. And I guess you would be able to see a shadow moving around inside of the tent, since that's how that works with the fires in the tent. That's just how physics work. But you guys are a pretty decent amount away from this section of the shanty town. And how to put this? Alright, here's the deal.
While you're
There is some movement, I'll put it that way. However many of you would like to sneak closer for a closer look, you'll need to make another stealth check and a perception check.
I'm game.
while that's
I'll
happening,
do it.
Plus 7 to
just
stealth.
relay my weird
I got plus 6.
spidey sense that tingled a little bit earlier. Like, something on the
Well-
back of my
Well,
exoskeleton
partner, do you
is
want to
not
you
feeling
want to
very
stick
good.
your hand in this cookie jar or not?
Oh yeah, let me get in there.
Do you need it
Also,
from everybody wanting to look?
Thankfully, a carapist. Oh my gosh, I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Still plus 10. I mean, still a 21.
Alright.
Yeah, we're gonna do. I did see. Yeah, I did say. Anybody who wants to creep forward. God damn, Echo.
Hey.
Sorry, I forget that is one of the worst possible curse words to use. It's the most satisfying that rolls off the tongue. Make your perception check too, please, Echo. You too, Randy.
I think Drix too? No.
Drix made his perception check.
He did.
Man, I rolled
He's
4.
one up on us.
Randy, I like to think you're so freaked out by this just kind of eerie feeling you had earlier that you can't focus on what's going on in front of you. You're spending too much time like jumping at every shadow that presents itself behind you guys. Echo and probably Drix, so you're going to get a couple of pieces of information here because I think Echo would have gotten more information, but I'm going to lump them all together into one spill. You guys can tell from where you guys are that this section is a little more organized. There are not a whole lot of people. You guys can see these rather large figures just kind of standing there. It's very odd because you would expect people to be lounging. It's late at night to be sleeping, but there do seem to be a figure or two that's just standing. With Echo's 19, they don't seem to be that rigid. It almost seems like they are. It's difficult to describe.
Not turned on.
I didn't say that.
Not in a sexual sense. Like
I didn't say that.
Down.
But it is very odd. They're rather big, and they don't seem to be moving. I'll take that back. There might be one or two that are pacing. They don't seem to be pacing very far. With Echo's 19, you probably can tell for sure, Echo, that there is only one person in the tent that has some light. And I'll even give you a little bit of, maybe this is be more insight than perception, but the fact that there's light in that tent tells you that whoever's in there moving around needs it to see. At least I think they do. But you would gather pretty quickly. There seems to be only one person in the tent. There is a smattering of people, things around this area. And I think you both would pick out a large mass in the middle, roughly in the middle of this area. I guess with a 19, one of you could tell that it's a very... Oof. Sorry.
It's kind of noisy in that tent.
That's alright.
Yo, I thought I was on mute.
Nah, it's all good. Sounds like they just got home. Glad they got home safe. Anyway, y'all can probably tell this seems to be some kind of very rough camp. And kind of in the middle-ish of this camp is a rather large pile. It's difficult to tell. Something in the middle of the camp that's a little bit larger than you guys generally would encounter.
Like mud,
it is
bones.
It's hard to tell. It's for a 19. It almost looks like a very large scrap pile.
Okay, like just random junk is what it appears to be.
Seemingly.
But it's not like I said, like dead bodies and bones.
Nothing,
right.
Nothing like that.
Just is the person who's pacing looking at this mass? Is he reading a book? Is he what's he doing with his hands? What that tongue do though?
Since you asked Joe's in the car, what a fucking degenerate.
Driving.
Yeah, 2 fucking people tonight listening to D&D in their car. I'm flattered, but you're all degenerates. Seems to be carrying...
In my defense, I just got out of the show, and my wife is getting a Friday the 13th tattoo and asked me to bring her Taco Bell, so I'm not even directly home, which is why I'm on mic. So, yeah, you can call me out if you want, but I'm doing God's work. I'm bringing Taco Bell to my bed. Sorry.
I can't argue with that.
Kind of negated it a little bit, I think.
Swallow them out. You gotta say my girl.
Yeah. My
Gotta be,
lady.
yeah, gotta be kosher. Be a gentleman. All right.
Oh no, she a bad bitch. You know it. That's her title. Quick.
Joey's a fucking heathen anyway. So
He
I will
is.
say they seem to be carrying a weapon. Rather large weapon. Looks like a hammer.
Like a working hammer. Like, hey, I just like to nail stuff in my free time. Or
Stop. No, it's it looks like a maul. It's pretty big.
okay. Just casually carrying around a maul.
There
Dark
are
maul.
much bigger. They
We're
are
talking like Town Center Mall, or
they're you know, since you've seen them before, they are large creatures. They're a pretty big thing pacing around.
And so you mentioned other people as well. How many figurines?
You
Figures?
know, with your 19, 1, 2, you see 4 of them that are that size. Plus, you know there's someone in a tent.
Okay,
It's creepy.
so there's a
It's creepy.
fire, 4 figures around, and then a separate tent with a light in it. And that person has a maul?
Let me try something. Let me help you.
Do you have a map?
I do have a map. Let me see if I can.
That's not gonna give away anything. If so, then we'll theater of the mind it.
I mean,
Nah, let me. I think I just hid everything. So let me
is he
pull you
conveying any of
guys.
this?
Pull you guys to here. You guys should just see a kind of shantytown bullshit.
Gypsies.
At least you didn't say. What is it? My wife says is a slur now. That is it, gypsy.
Yeah.
Well, that's like.
yeah, it's not a.
Mm-hmm.
I argue about it all the time because there's
I
a
feel like that's-
boxer. There's a boxer whose title is Gypsy King. Like he's one of the best boxers to ever fight at heavyweight, apparently. And she's like, "You can't say that." And I'm like, "But that's his title."
Well, then it just begs the question: if there was another boxer who had a different slur, King, would you just freely say it?
That's a good question. Wow, Brandon diving into socioeconomics at 11 o'clock Eastern time. All right, so I would say the fire. Can you see my ping? It's
saw
probably
it.
in this area here. You can see someone pacing around from here, kind of through here.
So we are.
Whichever direction you would like to approach from, I think would have been up to you guys. Maybe up to happenstance more than anything. I guess y'all could be approaching from this side of the map. I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Regarding
The
Randy's question, I guess I might hold up some fingers, 4 or 5 figures. Tell them how many people. We probably developed a code for. They look fight-worthy, dangerous. Definitely not.
Artrades hand signals.
Yeah, civilians. Well, wait, the Thrycreen. We can message each other and talk telepathically.
Oh, y'all have things. Yeah, I gave y'all some,
I forgot
some
we have
earrings
those
or
two.
some
We have the
necklaces or
earrings, so we
something.
can all do that. The biggest thing that I keyed in on that I think might be important is he mentioned the type of weapon it looked like one of them was holding.
The mace.
So you said it was a maul, right?
A
Mauls are
Thrycreen.
like two-handed sledgehammers, essentially.
He's definitely a fighter. Something weird about this mass in the
thinking
middle
like-
of the room, too.
Yeah, and that is right here. Let me see if I
I
can
just
draw
imagine like
a little fire.
some sort of abomination transformer metal creature popping up.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too. I'll also shoot to the group like, I had a weird feeling when we first came in. I don't think it saw us, but there's definitely other things here. But more importantly, I could be wrong, but I think we've seen that hammer before. At least
Where at?
it looks an awful lot like something we encountered in a cave once. I could be totally off base, but that's the feeling I'm getting with what you're describing.
The one where we almost died? Is that where Zephyr lost her foot?
Never lost his foot to
His
a
foot.
comet.
Oh yeah, the
A
murder
murder
comment. That's how I got this.
So it was the cave
Now
actor.
that-
Was it Marcus? Was that the dude's name?
It was the dude's name.
Yeah, it was
Now
Marcus.
that Randy says that, Echo, you can see the very what's the word? You can see the hook on the end of the hammer. I described it as a galvanizing hammer. Y'all may not know what that is. It looks like a pickaxe. It's except that one end is a sledgehammer, the back end is the bill of the pickaxe as a galvanizing hammer, used for changing tires and shit.
How do you change your tires? What the hell?
I was a tire monkey for 5 years. I know all kind of shit about changing tires. But you recognize the very. Oh, we didn't hear that. It was all garbage. All garble, excuse me. You do recognize the very unique shape of an asteroid hammer. I told you they were called that day.
Yeah, that makes me immediately pause once he starts describing it. I'm pretty sure it's what it is. I'm like, these are things that almost
we
killed us in that cave.
And we don't have a moonbeam this time.
I was about to say, that's the same one that lets you sweep as like a bonus action or a reaction or something. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And he said there's 4 of them. He said there's 4 of them. There's 4 somethings anyway that we could see. Like, I'm guessing that's the guard, which means the fella in the tent's probably the guy that was taking pot shots at us all night. I'm a little nervous about this. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're a little bit stronger, but those guys are tough.
Can I pop a detect magic if they're within? I think it's 60 feet. I'm not at my computer. If we're within that range, can I pop a stealth slot just to see if they've got anything else on them that's giving off anything?
If you
Detect
cast
magic,
it is 60
is-
feet. I'm pretty sure.
I'm showing 30 feet on his sheet.
Oh, I thought it was.
And he has it as a ritual. He does not have it ready in his spell book.
Oh, if I know the spell, it's always ready. Because preparing spells
okay.
is dumb. But if need to, I can send Cuckoo. I can send Cuckoo to get closer and cast it through him, and so it'll be 30 feet from him if he can get within 30 feet. Still using the spell slot because I don't have the time to do this.
It does specify it's blocked by an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, 3 feet of wood or dirt, foot of stone.
So,
And just so you,
Or Brandon's mom.
before we, oh, nice. Before we proceed here, just so Joey knows, we did pop past without trace from the Shadow Globe, but I think only a handful of us crept closer, so I think a few of you might be hanging back unless everybody rolled. I'm not confident in that.
no, it looks like, let me pull these rolls back up. Echo, Randy, and Drix are the 3 that crept closer to see all of this. If you would like to send Cuckoo closer, I will need a stealth check from Cuckoo. I guess I need to find the Quetzalcoatl stab log. So I didn't. You're gonna have to send him. Say it again.
Quetzalcoatl, like the big. He's a poison snake that shoots free skin.
Got you. This is what it was like that night I had to play on my headphones. This is awful. Let me see here. Stealth? Doesn't have stakes don't have advantage of stealth? That's dumb. That's not biblical.
You're missing your feet for a reason. Persuasion and stealth.
Persuasion and stealth. Preach. Sorry. Two different kinds of people in this world. I once told my wife if I could ask my wife, you could see any event in at any time in human history, what would it be? And I said the fall of man. She just thought I talked about the biblical fall of man. I meant the fall of man, humanity at the end. One day.
Oh, so you want to go to the end of the
But it would be
not the
so
beginning
out of
it.
context. You know,
I guess a little bit.
What if it was a group of guys playing D&D and they just all just spontaneously combusted? You'd be so what?
I mean, we'll see. One day there'll be no more humanity left on this earth. God bless that day. Cuckoo does very well. He is a snake. A snake. I'm a snake. That's a very nice score from him. You cast Detect Magic off of him up closer. You know, I like to think he might wrap himself around one of the three's foot, Drix or Echo or Randy, kind of, or slithers up their shoulder or whatever. You cast Detect Magic. So there are 4 creatures, and the big scrap pile all give off a very odd aura of magic. The figure pacing in the tent seems to have some talismans and some wands. Or, well, sources of magic that I think Demos would be able to gather are probably something like that. It's probably hard to tell exactly what he has and exactly which one is which, but the figure in the tent seems to be carrying a couple of magical items. The figures pacing around seem to be vaguely magical. And whatever that big scrap metal pile is seems to be vaguely magical.
So I guess the question is, do we go rest? Do we ambush?
I mean, I think we have some decent information down here. We know this is what the... this is tough. I would almost say that we get out of here. I don't know that I want to sneak attack these dudes.
I would agree.
I would also almost question if we report this to Sly. He wanted to know what was going on in the weird blackout zone. We fought this dude before, so we can give him some information. I don't know if that would make
I'm down with that.
easier for us long term, but I feel like if anybody could help more with taking these dudes down, maybe it'd be him.
Maybe bring Cade with us to do some fighting.
Got the big iron on his hip.
Alright, I guess we hand signal, message. Yeah, let's jet the foe.
Okay. It sounds like you guys would like to return to Mantis HQ for the night. Please make one more stealth check to leave the area.
You son of a bitch.
Sorry, you had to make one to get in. You got to make one to get out.
It's been within 10 minutes.
That's still a 22, so... I think it's an hour past that trace.
Is it?
Even if it's
that
even
close?
if it's not, canonically, I use it again when it runs out. If it runs out, I got enough charges.
I was about to say, fucking Randy's over here like watching the globe, waiting for it to stop.
Yeah, it is 1 hour.
Okay.
20. I mean, it looks like Zephyr's the only one left to roll. If this is a group stealth check, it's pretty solid. You guys sneak your way back out. Thanks. You guys find yourself very thankful for the equipment. Oof.
Nat 20,
Zephyr.
Go deeper, Zephyr.
I was about to say, like, you guys turn to retreat. You guys turn to retreat and find Zephyr already gone. Like, has already left the area.
Skedaddled.
Skedaddle.
Fucking out of there.
I like to think you guys like walk like 20 feet past Zephyr before he like emerges from the shadows. It scares the shit out of all of you. Before
Zephyr,
you guys make
Zephyr
your
heard
way,
Deimos refer to Cuckoo as essentially a snake and was like, "Bye."
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Facts.
you guys make your way back to Mantis HQ. It sounds like y'all are trying to get back in bed, and y'all do. You guys can hit the short rest button if you haven't already, or if you need the short rest button. Some of you may not. Or you get up the next day, nice and bright, shiny, and the day is yours to do with as you please.
You already know I'm gonna go
Shiny,
shoot.
shiny day to you. Oh, please go shoot. Make sleight of handshakes for me, please.
No, Patrick Swayze moment this time.
I don't need it anymore. Your spirit's with me.
The movie Ghost, where he's got his arms around her with the pottery. We gifted in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get it. It's fine. The only Patrick Swayze movie I'm familiar with is the one Dirty Dancing. Is that Patrick Swayze?
Yep.
Well, I rolled a 22 and an 18.
That's a horrible habit, Joey.
Stop. Chew. Tobacco's gross. Chewing or snuff is gross. Chewing tobacco. All right. You do get your 4th hole punch, Randy. As you go out, kind of like to imagine at this point, like you guys know you have a busy day ahead. You got in bed late. Randy still gets up early in the morning, gets up with the sun to go out. You guys, some of you might wake up and can't go back to sleep. Some of you might wake up and go right back to sleep. As you hear the sound of Randy practicing with his pistol in the training yard. You do get your 4th hole punch and gain proficiency with firearms. I think that's what it's called in 5e. I know you're only trained to the revolver or whatever, but I think on your sheet you need to add firearms. Congratulations. Randy, you're a cowboy now.
Hooray.
So does it apply to other firearms for him?
Probably.
If we were to run across a, rifle?
I would say so. I guess once you learn how to shoot, you know how to shoot.
I feel like that tracks.
Well, so that may not be the case in real life, but for this it
Figure out how to
does.
add this at some point.
You should be able to
if
go.
if you know how to load a revolver, I feel like you should be able to figure out a rifle.
I mean, it's the same basic principles.
Well,
Right.
I think aiming is pretty close to the same. Randy, Josh, you should be able to go scroll down, look to your left where armor, weapons, tools, and languages are. There should be proficiencies and languages at the bottom. You should be able to click a little gear icon. I think you should be able to add a weapon proficiency there. It looks like maybe you can't. You can just roll. I don't know what's that word I shouldn't say. Not cool. Sounds like you'll have to open your character sheet like you're changing stats or something. Like where you do the little is it the anvil?
Mm-hmm.
It is the anvil. You have to go into the anvil. It's probably in there somewhere.
Okay.
Anyway. Brandon died. Okay. Interesting. That's not how I expected that to go. Didn't expect y'all to run. It's okay.
We're cowards today. I said I wasn't scared of anything, and then I turned around and ran.
Y'all were like, and you ran. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. Brandon, come back.
How do I manually add proficiencies? I'll figure this out.
Yeah, but say, can you not? I'll figure it out here in a minute if I have to. But I have 2 Demoses open. That's alright. There's Brandon. Alright, Mantis, how would you like to proceed with your day? As you all, maybe some of you somewhat grumpily get up and proceed to have some breakfast, awakened by Randy's early morning practicing. The day is yours. You could return to the spot. You could return to Sly. You could go investigate the only other hook in your adventure journal, which is a... You guys can go back to where they found the big dragon shark. Paladin told you guys that you could be teleported there. It may be a little dangerous. They had to reconstruct a partially broken teleportation circle, but the Crimson Codex could send you guys there if you wished. That's the only really other thing in your quest book.
I think that, well, let me ask you this. I offered for Sly to come by and visit us in the morning to meet Chief Ringo. Does he come by, or do we got to go to him?
I would say that this is kind of funny. So Randy's the only one that's really up and awake, kind of as you're finishing your shooting session, and everyone else is drowsily getting roused, being awakened by your practice. You do hear from across the house a knocking sound. You go to the front door to find Sly. Having arrived, he says, you said I could come see your rhino bug friend. I'm a little curious, to say the least. I don't have much time, but I would like to meet this thing that is worth hunting down. a mighty prolific creature, if hearsay is correct.
Ooh, I got something I kind of want to do here.
Go for it. If you're
Can we make
ready.
it so like when he says that, like Drix comes in flying on Ringo like a fucking army helicopter and lands in the front yard? And just lands.
Like Sly, like looks up at you guys landing, or you guys coming over the house and landing. Looks back at Randy. Looks back at Drix and Ringo. He goes, "You were not kidding. You all bought a giant bug."
Absolutely. Look
Kind
at
of our
it.
theme.
It is a magnificent beetle. He kind of steps down the steps, and you can tell he doesn't want to exactly approach it. It is a large creature. It's rhinoceros sized. I wouldn't want to fuck with a rhinoceros sized stag beetle either. But he says, and this is Ringo you told me about.
Yep, that's Chief Ringo right there. We'll walk up and give him a little rub on the big horn while Drix is sitting on it and say, look, don't be scared. He's got horns, you've got horns. You got something in common.
That's racist. He takes a couple of steps forward. He says, well, it is good to have muscle at your back at all times. I guess he's a bard. Does charisma apply to animals too? Yeah, I guess animal has been handling his wisdom. Says I've not been the best animal handler myself, but it looks like a good bodyguard. It looks like it's a tough creature. Have to be tough to hang with wild spaces of your caliber. You know, he comes to talk to you guys. I like to think that when you go to pet him, Chief Ringo's very happy. Those of you standing around that are not the Buggo Boys can tell pretty easily. Chief Ringo is very fond of the Buggo Boys. And he says this is what you're looking to make armor for.
Yep. Gotta keep her boy safe.
I can understand wanting to keep your own safe. I wasn't able to dig up much in the handful of hours since y'all left me. But it seems that these megapedes live in the very deep desert. You're looking at several days of travel to get into any deep enough into any desert to be able to even look for their abode. There have been some reports that these live in He tells you the name of the desert here in on Eberron. So they can be found planet side, which is probably good news for you all, but you're looking at several days' journey to even get to where they might be. I've also heard they are formidable opponents. You may already be aware of their size, but they also tend to carry their young on their back. It's possible if you found a mother, you could find yourselves outnumbered. Other than that, they seem to be able to attack from a distance and attack you magically, which is usually not very good. I associate that kind of things with dragons in that nature. I would prepare like you were going to kill a dragon.
Shoot. That don't sound very easy.
Well, my understanding is if you kill one of these, you would be loaded by the standard of most commoners. Maybe even by y'all's standards.
It is favorite quarry.
They're formidable creatures.
I reckon my biggest concern is what happens if we find more than one.
You die, friend.
Yeah, our luck, we're gonna find a mother who's had the biggest litter of all time.
Hit it with fireball.
Whore.
Oh god. Is everybody else out at this point, I assume?
Yeah, but during the course of this, everyone would have gotten up and woken up. I'm trying to figure. I guess the one of y'all ships is still on the rock, so he hasn't seen y'all's second ship yet. Okay.
I think I want to sort of relay what we found since he, came through with the info. Did he bring us any of the poison potion thingies?
I'm glad you said that. Sorry. He does hand you guys. There are what, 5 of you? Now that Goob's gone. Does give you 5 potions of poison resistance since you asked for them. So we can add that to y'all's. I'll go ahead and add that to y'all's inventory. What's the other thing? You're gonna fill him in on everything y'all saw last night?
I guess, unless anybody's opposed.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, cool. I'll just sort of be like, well, since you brought us some good info, I'll let you know we stayed up a little late last night and ventured down into the blackout zone, whatever you're calling it. Saw some pretty interesting stuff, I'm not gonna lie. And then I'll sort of fill him in on, I guess, our previous encounter with these things that we assume we saw again. Big metal boys, and I assume the sniper guy, although we didn't get eyes on him. But I'll at least for sure confirm that we saw 4 of those big metal creatures with the big hammers.
I was afraid of that. Well, that is concerning, to say the least. He kind of, may I come inside?
I don't see why not. Take a seat in the, what do we call that?
That's where y'all,
the guest
that's
area
where y'all met him.
with the
Yeah,
piano,
where y'all met him last time. Yeah. Then he does wander back in there. He says, now, if the things we have been looking into are related to these things, this could be bad for the status quo we talked about the other night. I am inclined to believe that you all may be the best for the job to go take a deeper investigation. We could dispatch a unit from the eyes, but it would take some time to gather and deploy them. And you can tell he looks like he... 2 of you make an insight check.
Let's see. Deimos gets a +2. Same as mine.
I got +3, so I'll shoot one off.
Why does everything sound so sexual with Randy?
Oh,
The way
nice.
that it is. Wow. Alright, it's not too difficult. Randy has a little harder time, but Echo, you can tell pretty quickly he doesn't want to admit this. He's trying to hide it. He says it. Maybe I won't say it, but he says it in a way that he's doing his best to not make this seem like the case. But he says, I believe you all are the best equipped to handle this situation. At least to handle us so. And I think, Echo, for your nat 20, you can tell that he's not super thrilled about the idea that whatever's going on has them freaked out enough that they're willing to lean on a group of Wildspacers. Groups of adventurers are generally the strongest groups of people you're going to find in any given place. They do crazy ass shit for a living, like kill dragons and megapedes and stuff. So he's not pleased to sort of admit that this may be beyond what they can muster quickly.
Is there anything you could do to help? A wand of fireball or web? I don't know.
I could obtain some equipment. It takes a little bit of time. Depending on what you're asking for. Some things I can get very quickly. Some things you might be better off just going to buy in the adventuring district. Is there something y'all feel like you need specifically to tackle this threat? You all are the foremost experts in these things at this time.
Did the Pokeballs work for any creature?
I think so. Pretty sure they did.
Oh man, that's a bold idea.
I
you
just
got
had a
there.
thought. I was just like,
I can tell.
if not for the 4 guardians or whatever we're gonna call them, the other guy. I don't know. I was just thinking.
He said we're the experts, which makes me nervous because I was about to turn around and ask him if there was any way that they had any level of intel. You know, the fact that he seemed uneasy they existed made me think that he at least feared they might. And so I was hoping that he might be able to tell us something at least about the metal guys. And I'll even tell him, like, I mean, you say that we're best equipped, but we ran into, what, 2, 3 of these guys in a cave once, and they stomped us down a little bit. It was pretty tough. It's a little scary. If you know anything about their weaknesses, what might be better against them, I don't know, just something to make us feel a bit more equipped to try and take them down.
Yeah, like how are they causing a blackout? Is there some like what do we call them, totems that we could destroy to take down the blackout?
Let me try to do this in order. He says, try to do this in order. So my brain putted out on me.
Intel.
Yeah, so. Oh, anything you can tell him to make him feel better. Wow, fucking blank. I guess I'm gonna do it out of order.
What are they? What are
tells-
they weak against? What are they?
He tells Echo, because my brain doesn't want to do things in order. He tells Echo, it seems to us that whatever forward scouts they used must be prolific in their careers. I have to assume we can't get any information because our scouts never come back. Now, to catch all of our scouts we have sent is difficult. Whatever keeps an eye on this area is very vigilant. Randy, please tell me again what you asked. I'm so sorry.
I just wanted to know, because essentially the way I framed it is like, it sounds like you were concerned about what we found. Is there anything you know about these guys at all? Anything that might help us fight them? Because the last time we tried, it didn't go very well.
Yeah. Well, if what y'all say is true, if they, we have to hope they are not exactly like Warforged. They seem to follow a different set of rules. But if these things are less than Warforged, they would follow many of the rules that constructs do. Golems and things of that nature can't be affected by some magics, and generally only are able to do what they are told to do. I would think it likely that at the least, the things you guys encountered were taking orders from, I think y'all told him it was a Gith Yankee. From the Gith you all encountered. It's possible it comes from somewhere else, but those types of, given those commands usually require a little bit of closer distance.
Did we show him the chip?
I don't think so.
Don't remember. Drix, are you opposed to us showing him the chip?
Nah, go for it.
I mean, they could probably be completely disconnected, but I'm just gonna throw a random line out there, show him the chip, and say, I mean, we found this in the neck of some filler we took down a little bit back, and it didn't seem like it would be directly connected to whatever this guy's got going on, but what we could glean is that it seemed like it was some sort of communication device. You think this could have any kind of factor in this at all?
Same as all the other magic users you're presented this to. He takes a couple minutes to cast Identify. I think bars can cast it. Let me double check that. I thought everybody could cast Identify.
I can't cast Identify.
Oop, I didn't put 5e on the end of that. Google gave me like the actual. Yeah, I see Bard on there. He casts Identify, and same as all the other wizards, he says, "This is an unusual artifact. I can glean very little from it. It seems to use some kind of power I'm not familiar with. I can take this back to the eyes, if you would all like to be compensated for it, and perhaps they could study it. But there's very little I can tell you about it. You found it in a person.
Carved it out.
Disgusting. Very hardcore of you all. He's looking at it. He says, if I'm being honest with you, I don't like this. This is outside of our wheelhouse. Outside of our wheelhouse. The whole eyes. It's my understanding that there is some powers that can happen through supreme willpower and mental fortitude. It's not the specialty of most of the organizations in Royland. Or, well, in Corvair. Makes it difficult to track. Might explain why we've been having trouble investigating the way we have.
I'll telepathically kick back to Drix because I know this thing might have some link to psionics, and just say, if you don't want to cut it loose to the guy, I'm down to say that we'd rather hold on to it ourselves versus getting the money. If you think you might be able to find a use for it, I don't know, maybe you can cram it in your own neck. I wouldn't advise it, but
It wouldn't be the worst thing that's been stuck in my brain.
worst thing yet.
Yeah, we can hold on to it.
All right, if you want to keep it,
Sly
I'll make sure we
will-
keep it.
Yeah, Sly would give it back pretty easily. He would say, I hope you all can gather a little more information about whatever that thing is. Of course, information's worth a lot to me, but perhaps y'all need some incentive. Do I need to leave some gold here to ensure you all return to that spot to see what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know if I would go without any extra gold.
Yeah,
I mean, that does kind of make it
They're like,
an
"We're gonna
easier
go
decision.
Anyway, but, yeah. I'll tell him that, of course. I'm like, yeah.
I think he gets this kind of little
Is this
sly look on his face. He says, "That's what I like about
is
these
this just
kind of
a
relationships."
prepayment though?
I
Like,
don't
As
carry
in,
a
if he
large
gave us
amount.
1,000 gold, he would.
Give you more, but I don't carry a large amount on me. I would prefer I drop you all a payment now. I gauge your next payment based on the information you bring me back.
Minus what you give us now.
Of course,
Like if the
in
total
addition to
reward
what
was
you-
5,000 and you give us. Okay.
in addition to whatever I give you now. Whatever I give you now is down payment. To ensure you go investigate. Otherwise, I would need to spread it out to whatever agents of the eyes was sent that way.
Say, what you reckon? What you reckon 4 dead robots and a dead rifleman are worth to you?
I think it's more than that, Randy.
You
And
You bring one of them things back, I think I could give you a lot of gold.
To the Sharn Barn. Get a Pokeball.
Away.
Nah, maybe I should clarify. He doesn't need it back alive.
Oh, I'll murder the crap out of something.
Okay.
I was scared before, but I'm
Slightly.
braver now that there's gold involved. My fortitude has been strengthened.
Okay. He will leave. Think about this. Yeah, he told you you didn't have much on him. What does that mean to Sly?
50,000 platinum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll edge a little bit and be like, just remember, whatever you leave determines the quality of equipment we can buy to try and survive this. So,
He seems to be used to that kind of ribbing. Kind of gives you another kind of cunning look, and he says, "I understand. Y'all ain't likely to just rush in there in search of gold." And he kind of rolls his eyes. And I think he would probably leave like 250 platinum. Like, I think that could fit into a sack or a bag, a coin purse, if you will. Might be split between 2 coin purses, but yeah, that's how much I think it is. Pretty sure. He would kind of throw that on the table where he's sitting. He says, he goes to the door. He stops. He turns around before he leaves. He says, "Now would be the time. If any of you have second thoughts about this line of work, I believe you all are familiar with another group that made their living doing deep work for the Dark Lanterns. It's not for the faint of heart. If you all just want to be mercenaries, now is your chance to step off." And then he would leave.
I would just tell him if he hits the bell on the way out, he'll be notified anytime we come up with some new info.
You're pretty good at that.
if there's any chance he
Alright.
could throw a thumbs up on the info we provide him to know that it's good, that would be particularly helpful.
Right.
I'm still not convinced the internet's gonna see these videos, but y'all are doing very well. Alright, well. Sly takes his leave if no one has any more questions for him. Cool. It is early in the morning, 8 to 9 o'clock by the time Sly leaves and y'all have this conversation. I like to think he tries to pet Chief Ringo on his way out. That may or may not work out for him. That's up to y'all's personal headcanons. Before he makes his way back down the street and on his merry way. The rest of the day is yours, Mantis. You can do with it as you please. Y'all want to pee real quick? It's now a good second break to get to pee and reset and come back
It's fun.
to try to play another hour.
I'll take another quick break.
Feel weird now. We'll take a second break. Come back in 5 to 10.
Yeah.
That's like the third reference to go over my head. So everybody, welcome back from the second break of the night. It's been a
Brandon
weird
ruined
night.
it.
Oh, good. I'm glad y'all
I'm-
are still going. Y'all were talking food and shit when I came, so I thought we were.
It's been a little. So they went to investigate. You know, you were here. They went to investigate that place. They left. They went to talk to Sly. They told Sly what they found. Y'all got some gold. Now it is around 9 o'clock in the morning. You guys have the rest of the day to do whatever you would please. It is the 20th of Ron. Pardon. I am fucking struggling. So we'll see how much further this goes.
But the most important thing that happened while you were gone is that I'm now proficient with firearms.
It's true.
Oh, boy. We have a revolver. I think I don't know if that's a light weapon or not, but
That's
I
what
would
he's
look
been
at that
practicing
motherfucker.
with.
It's
Yeah.
not, but I'll still
Oh,
keep
it's
it.
not?
No, technically a revolver is not considered a light weapon, at least according to his standard, which is fine.
Damn. Amos like flips open his robe a little bit to show the wand at his side, and he like gives you just a little head. Oh, I forgot about the camera. Just a little tilt of his. Fucking- like I'm also packing. I respect it.
Like a little bit cocky now to flip the revolver around my finger a little bit and stick it down in the leather holster that I assume came with it on my hip.
Sick. Now you got to work on your catchphrases. You know, no pain, no grain. You know, no pain, no brain. Solid catchphrase. You know, you gotta think
Oh,
your
no.
drop. Your one-liners are drop.
I'm still waiting for my real one-liner. It's gonna happen sooner or later, and once it hits, we're gonna sell everybody stickers.
And you missed it was a tag team green highlight this week.
Oh, double subscribe. Is that what the green one is?
Well, I had to
Yeah.
subscribe, and I think Randy
Have
hit
the
the like.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brandon's getting good at like sneaking them in as jokes.
He's a very clever though. No, respect it. But sometimes I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, I love it.
It's alright. I saw today watching you know what? I'm not gonna go on this tangent because I found out last week that late at night we go on tangents too much. So I'm not gonna enable that.
You're such an
All right,
enabler.
Bantus.
So, Joe,
I live for chaos in everyone else's life but mine.
now
anyway.
that
Most
we're
on
back,
brand.
we have to decide what we want to do next. We have to decide if Sly just paid us to potentially go investigate these guys again, or maybe try to take them
I
down.
feel like
I don't know.
not potentially. He paid us to not back out like a punch of pansies.
The thing is, he did say that he paid us, and he said he would pay us again for any information we gather. So maybe that information's bringing back a dead body, or maybe it's just knowing more about what they are. and
That's
what
what
they're
I
up to.
got out of it. Hey, bring
No,
back one of these
yeah.
creatures.
For sure.
Um,
No, that was the clear message. You brought back one of them, dead or alive. He would pay you a good bit of money.
We did
And,
learn
he-
that. We did learn one thing that I think we maybe didn't know, and that is that largely these constructs more than likely take commands from somebody versus being sentient on their own. So it's more than likely that if we take down what's commanding them, that they'll no longer attack us. At least maybe. That's my.
Is
Yeah,
that
and he did quantify that if they were not exactly Warforged, he quantified like that seemed to be the dividing line. Warforged have their own sentience. As long as these things are not exactly like Warforged, they don't have that sentience, they're more like constructs. They would take orders from something. He couldn't, tell you for certain which one that may be, but he was under the impression that as long as they're not like direct copies of Warforged, they should have something or someone.
I do feel
piloting
that we'd fetch a higher penny if we got one alive in the Pokeball.
Oh, I'm down for that. I'm down for using this for fucking bounty hunting. Shit. Fucking throw a master ball at a motherfucker like, sorry, bitch. No, yeah. I'm all about it. So I'm sorry, I was absent for most of that first bit as far as they seem, when he was asking about sentience, do I gather that A1 is sentient in that same way? Because he has he has independent thoughts and personality. He's obviously
you've
set
been
apart from
around
the others.
You've been around him enough to tell that yes, he is sentient.
So Sly would love to hear about him, and we've been
And
purposefully withholding him.
You weren't there. He tried to. I don't think you were there. He did try to like catch us slipping a little bit when I was having a conversation with him, and he sort of slid in because I think I mentioned he asked something about like the person we travel with, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry about him, but keep him safe." He was like, "Do you mean that you're contractually obligated to keep him safe?" And I changed the subject, but
Chief Ringo, right?
he's pushing on it. He wants to know more about what's going on with the little dwarf guy for sure. And I will say what we observed from the metal guys made me feel more like they probably are not. It's either that or they were sort of powered down taking a rest, because it seemed like they were just sort of standing around like they were alive, but they weren't like having a conversation or like doing something outside the camp while he was in there,
I gotcha. No, I'm totally down for trying to bag one of these motherfuckers. Take them down? Do we want to just try to, like, if it seems like we can, we want to just go ahead and take all of them down? All four of them? Yeah? Is that right?
I think 5 total from what we saw. 4 of them were the golem things.
And I'm also gonna note
What
that
was the fifth?
while we were the fifth one's a person in
The
team.
guy with the maul, with
Okay.
the galvanizing maul.
There
Is that
were
correct?
the Astro
Galvanized.
Hammer. Yeah, the Astro Hammer is what they call it in universe. I keep likening it to a galvanizing hammer, which is a real world thing. There were 4 things carrying the hammers. There was something else that was difficult to identify, besides the person in the tent.
There was a scrap pile, it looked like, right? That was
Right.
glowing something magical. We weren't sure what that was about. And I'll also
Vaguely magical.
I'll also note that when we were coming in, Devin dropped a small little hint of there being something there that probably didn't detect us, but we also didn't detect it. So there was probably at least one other thing in the camp that we didn't see.
Or a tripwire?
I wouldn't say I dropped that.
Require
hint.
between us and them.
You earned it with your whatever roll it was.
Yeah, and I wouldn't think it was a trap,
Perception?
because I think it would have just been like, oh, look, there's a trap. I think it was more like there's something else there that was keeping an eye on the camp. And Sly also told us specifically that there's something there that's alerting them or that's watching the camp well enough for none of us scouts ever come back. I think that whatever
One of
that
the old
was
ones.
is the thing we missed. And we just happen to have good enough stealth scores to sort of skirt under its radar.
Nothing? You mean you passed without a trace?
We did pass without a trace. Ha, got him.
How do you? By the way, I do have invisibility to help y'all infiltrate. I'm still giving me advantage with a stealth check is not doing much for me.
It's
so-
plus 10, which is helpful for everybody.
No, yeah, but I'm saying I can make an individual. Invisible if we
Oh,
need,
giving
like,
you advantage
person.
through invisibility is not helpful. I feel you. Okay. All right. Well, you
yeah,
guys
let's go back to camp. There-
so you guys can go investigate that. I told them earlier the only other thing in your quest book is the place where the dragon shard was found. The big anomalous shard was found. Y'all can be teleported there. It's the only other thing in your quest book. I would like to leave those 2 things for. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll see. Y'all discover more hooks. Y'all discover more hooks.
Didn't when Goob casted Moonbeam, did it disable them or make them lose a turn or something?
I don't think so. He cast Moonbeam because there were 3 of them clustered up on a cliff, and he could hit all 3 of them with the Moonbeam. I don't think it had any kind of specific effect on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was just hoping. Maybe I was thinking about myself.
We
Y'all
did
too
probe.
afraid of Donovan. Fruity
Oh.
slipped there.
True. We did probe a little bit to see if Sly knew anything about these monstrosities, whatever they were, since he seemed upset that they existed. I was like, maybe you know more, but he didn't really give us anything as far as like weaknesses, strengths, we might be able to use against them. Outside of, they're probably not autonomous, but they could be.
He did tell you that if they are constructs, they are immune to some types of magic.
which makes sense.
That's why I brought it up, and then I forgot to leave out the most important part.
Okay. Has it been a new long rest this session or last session?
You got a short rest a minute ago.
Tonight.
Tonight you will get a long rest.
I think I still have a 3 for my. Yeah, I have a 3 and then 2 luck points and then 1 favored by fate. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, as far as your... Wait, what's that for? Oh, is that for your fort?
If it was a long rest, I would have to re-roll that. So I was just
Okay.
pulling up my notes to find what I had last session.
Yeah, so I wanted to wait till you got here before we decided what to do, because I don't... It sounds like based on what he told us that these guys aren't going anywhere, and they probably don't know that we were there, so we don't have to do that immediately if you wanted to go do the other thing. But I'm also down to just go ahead and head down there and see what ruckus we can cause.
Ruckus. I don't want to be the deciding factor, but that's where I was initially leaning, was to go and I don't know, investigate this now. But what is the other thing? I'm trying to think of.
The other thing was the dragon shard thing, because I know that was important to you. That's why I
Yeah,
didn't want to say
we're-
it before you got here.
Yeah, that's off world though, so I'm down with taking care of local business. Go.
But that is also the place you can be teleported to. So don't feel like you guys are going to waste several weeks to get there. But y'all are very free to do in whatever order y'all please.
Belly of the beast.
I'm down to go down.
What a perv.
I know, I keep accidental innuendos is the name of the game.
Yeah,
Not for
you
Randy.
made the eyebrows waggle.
His antenna waggle.
He made more than that waggle.
Randy's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's all innocent phrases. You're weird.
This
Randy,
is
you've
actually
been-
Thrive Green speech. This is turn a phrase. My pot is also green. See, very suave.
Something like that.
I should ask you a clarifying
Alright, well.
question because I don't use ranged weapons at all. 40 is the standard range, right? That's like the.
What does it say on it?
It says 40 and then there's 120 in parentheses, whatever that means.
Yeah. So if you hit 40 or below, it's a regular roll. If you go out beyond 40 up to 120, it's disadvantage. Anything beyond 120, you just couldn't hit.
Okay.
Indeed. Music's creepy again. I'm scared. Sounds like you guys are returning back to this camp. I don't want to. I've been sly too much today.
Do we want to do it at day or at night? What do you think's better for us? No, not everybody has dark
Do you
vision.
want to try to scope it out during the day too? See if anything changed?
Yeah, see if we can pick up more info and then decide if we want to stake it out till the night to go in or proceed immediately. I'm down for that.
I got my charges
We also
back,
need
so I
to-
can pop another pass without trace on the way in, just to be safe.
If we want to get the master ball or any other sort of equipment, we would need
We
to do
have-
that.
We have a
Master
Pokeball.
Bibles.
Could we buy some more since we've been paid? Like, just to have extra? Because it is a check, I think, to do it. But the catch rate on these sons of bitches might be pretty high,
You could purchase some more if you wanted to. I think they were 300 gold. I think you paid 600 the last time you were at the place, but I think you paid 600 for like another thing.
It was for the teleportation
Multiple
circle access.
things.
Yes. Yeah, we bought a teleport where we could send stuff to them. So if we catch it in the Pokeball, not necessarily this, but if we catch something out in space and like, oh, we can't house this, we could send it back to the Sharon Barn for boarding.
Deimos, is there anything that exists that could interrupt like psychic communication? Like, since these things clearly take orders from something.
Tinfoil,
was-
I hear, is very good. I don't know. Could we, DM? Would we know of something like that? Could we roll like an Arcana or a I don't know. That's a weird one.
Or if you have any ideas of like possible things we could do.
Warding one's mind is a difficult thing. Wards exist. I mean, abjuration. We
See, I'm trying to.
psionics and magic are just different. enough
There
for
are
my-
two separate things. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
And
if there are any spells that stop that kind of thing.
the question
Maybe
we also
just
have is, do we
Something
even
that
know?
incapacitates.
Like, do we know if it's psionics or do we know if it's magic? Like, I'm not even confident we know the answer to that. We're just assuming it's one or the other.
We took the chip to a couple of people, but I don't feel like that was very. We didn't glean a lot from it. They both noted that it was very different from what they had usually worked with. I think it was Vera, and then we asked somebody at the college. I think.
Yeah, Sly said the same thing, by the way. We showed it to him just to see, and he did give it back to us versus just being like, this is mine now. But he said the same thing. He's like, I don't know what this is, and I don't like it. And he couldn't even tell us if it might be related to the communication that he might have with those robots or what. So we're just sort of in the dark on that in general.
And if Drake's got the sense if he taps into it, that it would take him over. That it's like a hive mind situation.
I told him I'd cram it in his neck. We could find out.
Maybe Cordo could just be the hive mind of Mantis, and just one day we'll be in this exact position. We'll be like, what if we've become the very thing we sought out to destroy?
The six of you become one consciousness. It's my headcanon for after this campaign. Y'all just become this. What's the thing from Rick and Morty that Rick bangs?
The planet.
Yeah, the planet. Yeah, it is a planet in that episode. Unity. So he calls it.
Unity. Okay.
Yeah, so we don't know a ton. I'm down to just go down there and check it out.
Proceed for a second.
Okay. Sounds like at least one of you are down. What do you think, Brandon, Zephyr, Echo, Zephyr, and Drix?
Definitely doing it. Just like I said, maybe getting the items before we do, just in case.
Sorry, Cat just got home and she wrote to show you the cat tattoo. It's super cute. Just check it out. Little kitty ghost.
Oh, look at you, girlfriend.
Look at
I love
you.
it. It's so cute.
What makes it a ghost cat?
It's a baby. It's for Friday the 13th.
It's got like a sheet on it. Oh, sorry.
It's like
So
one
cute.
in the
I dropped
chat.
some
that
in
has,
chat.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to see on video, but cool. Congrats,
Yeah. Fun
congrats.
Friday the 13th.
You're gonna make me the last one that doesn't have ink. That's all right. I knew it wouldn't happen anyway.
So
That
it's
was
just
raised a
you
good
and-
Christian man. He's
I'm scared
You
of
and
needles.
Joey, that's it,
Yeah, me and Joey are it.
bro. It's not like a real needle.
I mean, they're either A, I could never do it because it's a needle, or B, I'd be like, y'all are bitches if you think this hurts. I don't know which one it would be until I go get one. Like,
Depends where you get it. Like if, like right there where she got it, yeah, that wouldn't actually be that bad. You'd be like, "Fuck, they don't hurt.
Dude,
I'm so
wanna-
manly."
I want a whole
right
sleeve.
there- No, oh my god, this was
Yeah.
the only time I've ever gotten a tattoo where I straight up like he was 10 minutes in and I looked at him and was like,
Are you done yet?
I was like, you have to tell me when you're done. I was like, are you close? And he was like, no, I still got a long ways to go. He's like, and then like an hour later, he was like, I'm close, I'm really close. And I was like, you're full of crap and I hate you. I'm so mad.
Oh yeah, my pain tolerance is very high, but I couldn't look the whole time. I'd have to read a book or something. Like just the seeing the needle would freak me out.
But
see,
it's
I'm
not
the
like a
same way.
it's not like a needle. It'll have like
It's even
this-
worse. It's a needle that goes.
yeah, but like it just looks like buzzing. It doesn't look like taking blood looks way worse. Yeah, like I get that. Like I get it, but it's not like going that deep.
The
Think of it like
taking
just
the blood
something's
doesn't
punching
bother
you.
me, but seeing the needle before it went in me freaked me the fuck out. It's Capri Sun straw I said a couple of weeks ago. It's
Well,
huge.
yeah, like tattoo guns are different. It's like shaded, and it's like
Maybe
this is
we'll-
like on a.
Maybe we'll find out one day. I'll make them use white ink on me first or something. I don't know. Maybe one day y'all will see me with just this little thin line on my shoulder because I bitched out like 2 minutes in. Who
Can go
knows?
dry.
They
can go
Can
dry.
can they hit you dry? That's what I would have them do first. I'd be like, hit me
I
dry.
wouldn't do a
son
whole
of a-"
design, but
No, there's no shot I would let somebody hit me dry with a tat. Like if I'm going, you're going. We're not doing this. It's like all or nothing.
Nah,
Just
I
get
need
a
like
little-
5 minutes.
Get a
Hit me
little D20
first so
back
I
here,
can
it'd be fine.
decide.
Just like a little lined out D20 on your shoulder, it'd be good.
I don't know. There's part of me really wants to be inked out, like pecs, shoulders, the whole thing. But I'd have to shave all my chest hair and shit. Like it would be an ordeal
only
for me.
once.
Like,
Only
Yeah,
once.
I mean,
you
it's
shave
like
that
you
shit once, you know what happens? Never mind, y'all. It's bad.
I'm looking at it. It can't get much thicker than that.
I've
buddy.
never shaved. It would be double this if I were to shave all my chest.
no, that's an urban
Oh.
legend. You don't. It doesn't grow back
Mm.
thicker with every cut. It's
I'm
typically
the reason it looks
pigmentation
like that.
starts.
It's not every cut. The first one is. I knew a kid in high school. He looked like me. He's like, I'm gonna shave it off. He shaved it all off.
In high school, when he's still full of hormones and
He came-
growing,
he-
you know, his
when
his
it grew
chest hair is
back-
at its max area.
It was not good for him when it grew back. It was funny. I was like, you shouldn't have done that. I told you shouldn't have done that.
Get it waxed, Evan. Video you getting it waxed, please. The
You know
rug
what?
that would come off. You could make a small sweater for Goblin. Like if you just did the
Yep.
entire torso, just
5,000 subscribers. I'll think about it.
you heard it here first. Smash that like and subscribe.
You thought my green highlights were good so far. Wait now.
Oh,
Yo,
boy.
I'd have to
We
be
can sell
very
that. We can market
silent.
that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get a shirtless session going on here one day. Y'all can. The internet can really see how much hair is going on under here. It's not. You hush. My wife's over there giggling. God damn it, yo.
What are y'all talking about? Jeez.
I can only wonder what she thinks sometimes.
At least you said it shirtless and not topless. So you know, there's that.
I don't know what the difference is, but anyway, here we go. We're off the rails already. I'm All right, here we go.
Maybe
Y'all
limit
are
the
going
rates.
down. Yeah, I'm doing my best, y'all. Sounds like y'all are going down there to check things out.
Yeah, pass
Yes.
without trace.
Pass without a trace. Y'all go down in the day, is that correct? Y'all got some capture orbs first. How many capture orbs would you like to buy?
What's our gold status at? Put that real quick.
A lot?
We're rich.
Wait,
Technically,
Oh.
yes, but
we have 12,000 gold. It's 300 per.
Yeah.
This is the part in Pokemon where I click to the left like twice to put it to 20, like or 21, and then drop it down. 20.
I
would
don't think we
be-
need a whole bunch.
I'm thinking of not just for these guys, but for other stuff. 3 times
We
20
could-
is 6,000. That would be half of our gold use. Yeah. Let's just
To
do.
buy-
Let's
to
just
buy
do.
20 of them? No, let's get like 5.
That's what I was thinking. Like at most 5.
We do 5. That's 1,500. We would
Correct.
still have
I mean, and
10,000 gold. Yeah, that would be fine.
we just got 2,500 from Sly, so I mean, we're still net positive 1,000 just on the interactions today.
Yeah, let's buy 5. Minus 1,500. I'll drop it in chat.
Means you actually got 6 total. Nice.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, you probably see that. We also
Does-
get potions
does-
of poison resistance from Sly.
Yeah,
Is it
Sly also gave y'all some. Y'all asked for him, so y'all asked and received.
Does some professor not give us a few Pokeballs to start our journey or something? You know, a little hand me out to help us get going.
And
Professor Moonin, maybe.
I was about to say,
Seems nice.
technically, you guys get those capture orbs from Moon, and he is the inventor of the capture orb. I just dropped something I was fiddling with.
That sounded inappropriate.
No, sorry, I did abs for the first time in a couple of weeks yesterday, and my stomach hurts. Anyway, all right, you guys go and purchase a couple of these. You guys can tell that the Sharn Barn is. I guess you guys didn't get these from the Sharn Barn the first time, so you could get them from a couple of adventuring shops. The first time you got them from like a fishing shop, from a bait shop. And they told you guys that someone had invented these, that a little raven fuck had invented these.
Little raven fuck.
Sorry,
I would love if that's what people colloquially refer to Moonin as, like, he's always
You guys know
mumbling
where
to
we can
himself.
get
That
a
raven
a
fuck.
big dog? Yeah, that big old raven fuck down the street.
Mhm.
Brings this fucking direwolf to drop a shit the size of my dog, like on the side of my house.
I
Oh,
imagine it
God.
becomes a colloquial cuss term. Ah, raven fuck.
Everyone
You just-
lives in that adventure district. Okay.
If everything of Moonin's legacy is inventing the Pokeball and being like known as that weird pet dude in town, I'm totally okay with that. That's my goals. Like shit.
I'm sure Moonin has more of a legacy. Y'all, it was alluded earlier that they made their fortune working for the Dark Lanterns. I think I had insinuated that earlier in the campaign.
Who?
Our old adventuring group.
Mhm.
The Dark Lanterns is like the police force. No.
Y'all may not remember this, and we're far enough past now. I kept telling y'all that they brought Vior Malek out of retirement. That's who hired. I can't remember what y'all's group's name was. That's who hired the Eberron group to do things. Was Vior Malek.
Did we ever even get a name? I think that was the one campaign we didn't really come up with
that
a name.
May not have had a name.
Or was that the Strahd campaign?
Draw campaign. You guys didn't pick a name. I called you guys the Defilers because you killed a priest in
Okay.
his own church in like the first
Right,
three
yeah.
episodes.
Well, then, then we
You had
did
to
have
be
a name,
the-
I think.
I know you were there. Was that your first campaign? No.
That
It's from-
was Brandon's first campaign.
Yes, I was thinking of
Eberron, yeah.
Yeah. This was years ago.
Oh,
It's like
Jesus,
3 or
that's
4 or
great.
5 years ago, Brandon.
Could you
Oh,
imagine
jeez.
if our group was just rolling around and called the Defilers? I'd be like, God, we're on a registry. This is not good.
That was the closest they've had to an evil campaign. It was lots of fun.
Dark campaign. That was the Strahd campaign. So
Now I
Yeah.
have an idea.
Morally Gray was encouraged.
The main villain kind of tricked him into being the bad guys. It was cool. And then they killed him, and it was great. Anyway, you guys proceed your way down into the lower levels of Sharn Shame. Josh, I'm
Sorry.
the only thing keeping me alive right now is the thought of Tennessee football. you guys make your way down into the lower depths of Sharn, back to this shanty camp that you guys had discovered the previous night. I will need stealth checks from everyone, please. Randy said earlier that he popped, passed without a trace. You all get plus 10.
Careful.
I'm gonna have
I
to.
enjoy watching Devin avoid the word gypsy. Oh, that was a nat one.
I think the word I'm trying to avoid is ghetto.
Well, yeah, that one you should have avoided.
I mean,
37, 28. Oh,
No
That one's for Zephyr.
shot.
Zephyr, baby. Oh, there's two nat ones.
It's
Heck of
either
a
a nat
baby.
20 or a nat 1.
So that's 4 fails, I assume, and then what do we have? Oh,
Three- it's
Randy,
three
I mean, with
passes
pass
for
without
sure.
the trace. It,
3.
but then again, if
But
it's
that's
a nat,
4
I don't know.
fails,
That's
technically.
DM discretion.
I'm gonna
Because
stay like this for a minute.
a nat 1 is technically a critical fail. That's 2 fails. So technically it's
Fails.
4 fails over 3.
Well, actually, no. Now that you mention it, I don't think on ability checks it necessarily is. Or maybe
Well,
it's
this
vice
is
versa.
Right,
This is I guess it's a group check, not a skill challenge. Excuse me.
right.
I would, yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah. I was
Skill
thinking about a
checks are
skills
something that,
challenge.
Matt Colville come up with. Skill challenges are something Matt Colville came up with. Or, well, he uses. I don't know. It's not a 5e raw thing. Anyway, oh boy, y'all. Oh boy, sorry, babe. I slapped something down real loud. Made it real loud.
Zephyr trips over my quiver, and we both fall down into the middle of the tent.
I'm about it.
That's about
I was
right.
joking, bro.
That's a joke. That's definitely a
Zephyr
joke.
lands on top of you, and there's like a brief moment
There's
where
no
like your
way.
eyes.
My quiver's on my back. There's no way she could trip over it.
I mean, with a nat 1, you never know.
Yeah. Zephyr tried to tie their shoe while walking.
Maybe we're
like-
just being a little too loud because we're talking about the Sharn barn and that raven fuck.
I'm so excited to use these Pokeballs, guys.
All right. Oh boy. I want to do this. I want to do this.
That's rough.
All right. Here's what happens.
And they were penetrated.
Yeah.
Not a good enough reason to use
2
word
of you
benefit.
were. The rest of it, I'm hiding pretty well. All right, I rolled a 27. Get out of my face. That's a 37 right there. Nobody can see me. I'm invisible.
All right. Well, you guys, as you're approaching the area you guys had scattered out last night, I have to burp again. Pardon. Yeah. Especially for 2 nat ones. Zephyr and Echo, you guys struggle to make the kind of quiet approach you had made last time. Maybe it is like, Echo steps on Zephyr's foot and Zephyr hollers or something similar. So there's something very goofy and sort of amateurish that causes a stir, if you will. You guys kind of at a very similar distance from where you were before. Oh, hold on. I have to kill the spider that got away from me a second ago.
Foreshadowing with no context?
Very dramatic.
I'd say like edging the suspense, like.
Devin's
And-
such an edger.
It's very chill vibe about it. So groove.
Sorry, I got summoned to kill a spider earlier, and he got away from me, and I was angry about that. Kills don't get away from me. It's dead now. It is.
At least it wasn't a she who was pregnant. Whew.
We don't get too many of those where the babies crawl on their back. We don't get too many of those, thank God.
No, they're
Anyway.
inside. Whenever you smush it, they all go out like a piñata.
Very terrifying.
And then you got to do like the Mexican dance to kill them all.
Sorry, I had to take that opportunity because my wife wouldn't sleep tonight if I did not. Anyway, as you approach, you guys hear about the same distance from the camp as you got, Randy, that you felt that kind of chill of something that you missed and it missed you. You hear not a screeching sound, but a brief chirp and the sound of something sprinting back towards the camp.
It's gonna tell him. unless we can see it.
Is there somewhere we can duck off, or
Duck off? Is that what you said?
I mean,
I mean, like
here's the
duck
question.
down an alley, or like I don't know exactly what our positioning is.
So, how far away from us is that thing? Is it still within enough of a range where somebody could try to hit it with something quietly and keep it from getting to where it's going?
And are me and Zephyr exposed? Do we know that we've triggered anything?
I would think it's pretty, there's a whatever incident happens. It's pretty instant after that it begins to run. I need to find some stuff and things, yo.
I guess my thought is to plead ignorance, kind of like play it up with Zephyr. Like, what are you doing stepping on my foot, you a-hole? Like, not like we're actually sneaking around, but just some two commoners who just stumbled in the wrong place at the wrong time.
If anyone asks, you got sold tickets to go tour the new ghost town attraction at the bottom of Jarn.
Since you asked, Randy, please roll an initiative roll for me.
Me? What did I do?
Yes, sir.
I don't even know if I can hit it.
It probably gives you a chance to hit it.
Randy, you, with much practice and quite a bit of skill, you whip the revolver from your holster and find yourself looking through a maze of tents. You can't quite pick out what it was. You gather it has made enough distance that you couldn't get a bead on it to shoot it.
A thought just occurred to me. I hope it's not. It's probably not.
I put it back up and I think over and I'm like, probably best I couldn't take a shot at it. Would have made a lot of noise and really given us away.
I was thinking that.
Also, y'all should hide.
Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Y'all should hide. So it sounds like y'all attempt to retreat, or y'all going to continue moving forward?
If Randy yells out to run, I feel like I would just run.
We wouldn't have gotten. I mean, I was trying to pay attention. We wouldn't have gotten any clue as to what this thing even was, huh? And we already know what's on the other end of it. The thought was, we don't want to be found by them. We were hoping to get the jump on them. So
yeah. Does it sound like just one of them is running?
One thing running away, yes, but it's running back towards the direction of where you know that camp is.
Should we pursue it and try to neutralize it before it gets there?
I mean, that was my thought.
We're already.
I would
there,
say if y'all are close enough to making stealth checks, you're not quite. You're too. It's too close for you to really make it before that.
Okay.
Because y'all are.
What
within,
is our immediate terrain? Like, it's a camp, but like
it is. So y'all are in you're as close to the lower sections of Sharn as you can be without being in the cogs. I described it earlier. Let me. Y'all can't see any of this. Hold on. Looks
like a Middle Eastern bazaar. There's just like merchants calling out.
I called it a shanty town made of tents earlier. It is very much like you would imagine, kind of a refugee, where refugees would stay on the, in a traditional fantasy setting, there would be a bunch of tents set up outside the walls of a city, etc., etc. It is full of refuse, full of garbage. There's abandoned tents that seem to be used. There's not any. I guess there's not really running water, but it is, for lack of a better term, that's the best way I can describe it, as a shanty town made of tents. It is very run down. Even most of the lean-tos and stuff will all be made of cloth. You don't see very many actual shanty buildings, things made of sheet metal or stuff like that. You're kind of moving through this very low level of Sharn. It's almost dark, down deeps in the depths of the city like this. That red circle you can see on the map is where you guys saw a fire previously.
And where are we on the map?
I'm going to say you guys are approaching from the south of this map.
I say
it's like down here.
I don't know, that we're going to have company soon.
Like down here. I mean, if we just want to go in, we were trying the stealth approach. We were planning on trying to take them down anyway. I'm down to just sort of strategically try to, guess, insert ourselves in and not get surrounded and killed.
Every scout up to now has not returned.
We're not exactly scouts, though.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
I don't even know if technically I know that we've triggered anything,
Here's.
or me and
I imagine
I think at this point we would know. We're pretty confident.
You all would have heard the thing sprint away.
So my two thoughts are this. We know that some of them can use range attacks. We fought them before. We also know that the main person we fought last time is only going to use ranged attacks. My initial
the two
thought
big
was
defenders.
we try to fortify the area where we are, like get a little bit of height, and have them come to us so we don't get like sneak attacks surrounded. But unfortunately, they can use ranged attacks, and they probably know the terrain better than we do. But our two primary options are try to get up high on this building beside us and fortify, have them come to us, or three options. We can run away, or we can just push in and try to go full nuclear, I guess.
we haven't even seen the targets yet.
Pardon.
It's true. Not today.
Right. No, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, as far as preemptively, Nova.
Yeah, because I mean, we could. My thought is like we could just go the direction the thing went. It'll probably take us straight down to it. We'll probably see him at some point, but that might put us in a bad position. If they're far enough away where we can't really land anything against them, but they obviously have multiple people who can do ranged attacks, that's not going to end very well for us as we try to approach.
Me and Zephyr got good range, and I guess
I've got decent.
Deimos, yeah.
All right, we going down or staying up? Pick. Make it quick.
Going down or staying up? Shit, I guess we're getting down tonight, boys.
I have to shut my mouth. Sorry. Have a real
They
hard
did say
time
they came on us, so.
holding on to my filter. Y'all make it hard on me sometimes. So
Gosh, you're so dirty.
it's bad, dude. Like I never grew out of it. Anytime anyone says anything that can even be a little bit turned in innuendo, my brain's like,
Bro, mine too.
All right, well,
it's just the way that it is.
I guess we're going.
Yeah, y'all. So what I'm gonna say is, y'all are going. So go ahead and place yourselves down here on the southern side of the map. You are welcome to attempt to place yourselves. Like, right here is probably a good example of somewhere where a character might have a little bit of high ground. These places.
Where are you picking?
Oh, I am pinging. 1 second. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
There we go.
This is probably a good example of somewhere where you might have high ground to be able to see into this area. This back here might be a little far. I would get your rulers out and take a look.
So,
Et cetera, et cetera.
I don't want to be a strategist, but my initial thought was going to be I was originally going to yell like, Echo, get on the roof, and then I was going to try and like help us sort of survey the land around us. I figure you're a pretty good scout. You can see further up there, and you can shoot a lot further.
And I could summon, if the DM allows a bonus action, potentially summon my Echo onto the roof. Are we talking about right here?
What place with it?
Like right here.
Okay, let's see. What's the Q on that?
That's 60 feet. Excuse me, that's just under 60.
70
This square over
feet?
here is 30-ish feet.
I'm afraid you're going to have to wait for your turn to do that. Unfortunately, because of the incident, whatever things are here are very aware of you all, but they're not going to surprise you guys. You're very aware of them.
Is our rod of warning going off yet?
Not exactly. It's not screaming because y'all aren't. It's not alerting you of a surprise. Y'all are already aware of the threat. So we are going to roll initiative here in a second, but I want to make sure everyone gets placed. It looks like Demos, are you placed? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who?
No, I was thinking more up on the rooftop. Reindeer paws. Up good old.
Oh, I see Drix. I see Drix now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Y'all have 10 seconds to place yourselves.
Oh, fuck.
Somebody needs to be on the roof, I guess. I don't care which one he ends.
If I go up, I think we shouldn't leave anybody like solo. At least somebody else up here.
Ding ding
But
ding
would we
ding,
have
ding 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 ding. Oh boy.
the foreknowledge to have climbed on the roof? I feel like
You guys are aware that
The way I was gonna play this is
something went to alert them.
as
So
soon
you
as
guys are
we-
aware that something could be, they could be coming to find you guys. So I'm under the impression y'all have at least, that's why I did the 10-second thing, at least a little bit of time to prepare for, to either get into a position or prepare for them to come to you guys.
And that's
so
why
10 seconds and I could not summon my echo?
Alright, fair enough. You can place your echo if you would like, but I'm gonna
Yes!
I am going to unveil these thingamajigs, and you all are gonna have to roll initiative. Then I'll explain what they are. Oh, hold on! Don't run this. Don't do initiative yet. Now do initiative.
Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna pop somebody out again before we do initiative.
Hurt,
Oh, I think you're. Oh no, you.
man. Why didn't it?
Oh,
Oh,
you're
I'm
my-
gonna pop my meteors too, if that's cool. It's initial casting is an action, but then it's a bonus action after.
I'll
Okay.
pop your meteor.
We need to try to call things like that a little bit earlier, preferably before I say the word initiative. As
If
part
you
of
rule it, I won't have an echo. Just saying.
No, y'all are aware that bad shit could be about to happen. It makes sense to me. Y'all would be able to respond in some sort of way. We'll see here. Randy got 19. What is this? Where am I missing some shit? Perfect. Zephyr, did you roll 7? Why didn't Zephyr's pop up? Many of y'all's is showing where it's supposed to. Drix, did you roll initiative? I'm just not seeing it.
I don't see it.
There it is. I don't know why. Sometimes it populates y'all's things and sometimes it doesn't. Y'all don't have a thingamabob at this time, right? Now do y'all have a turn order tracker?
Yeah.
I have a thing in Bob, yeah.
Perfect. I just made it appear. Okay, looks like Randy and Echo, you get to go first, but all of you would be able to see. Now, like I said, it's kind of very dismal and dark down here in the lower levels of Sharn, but you can all see. You do see the Warforged-like creatures that you had saw in the depths of the Rock of Brawl. They all do carry javelins. You can see them holding their astro hammers. They all seem to be making their way towards you guys. I like to think this is a situation where, you guys met them as they were coming your way. Each group meets each other because they became aware of you guys. You guys see the things. You guys also see, you guys might notice this is an ogre token right here. You guys also see a much larger construct-like creature. So I really, in my brain, you guys can see the way that these guys look. Oh, come on. God damn it. You guys can see the way these guys look? I like to imagine that this ogre thing is a, what does he call it? Tony Stark's, Hulk version of the Iron Man suit?
The Hulkbuster, yeah.
Hulkbuster? It's like a Hulkbuster version of one of these things. You guys can see that one of its, instead of having a hand on its right hand, it seems to be a hammer. Its left hand seems to be it's a crazy looking contraption. You can see several javelins mounted on some kind of rotating device in its forearm. You guys can tell that its whole left hand looks to be some kind of crossbow or cannon, and it is a large creature stat block wise, but it is ogre sized. It takes up that kind of space.
Terrifying.
But definitely a rusted construct looking thing, just like these other things you're familiar with.
You can see the moment where in Deimos's mind it was ribbed for her pleasure going through there.
Oh, dear sweet Jesus.
Man, I'm thinking about making y'all wait till next week.
You were thinking about that an hour ago, don't lie.
That's not true.
Come on.
Let's do it. Let's do it to it.
All right, let's try. We'll do our best.
Get
Randy,
around
you're.
that.
Tiny bit
You
more.
get around it.
I'm about to say I might have 40 more minutes in me. I hope. Randy, you're up. Echo, you're on deck.
All
40,
right,
20 more minutes.
We're aware of these 3 things. That's it, right?
5
3?
things.
5?
Oh, I
4 of the ones you've seen before, and the Hulk.
They're all over the place. You just can't. You have to zoom out the map. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm at
Yeah,
50%.
that's
And I
fine.
can see pretty much everybody.
Shoot.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, Randy, what you got, my friend?
I think I'm gonna start to rotate off to the right. I'm probably gonna run. Let's see. Got 30 feet of movement. I'll get here, and as I'm running, I guess I'm gonna try to pop a shot off on this lower right guy with the revolver.
Okay.
Um,
These guys have...
Yeah, I won't do that yet. 24.
Won't do that yet. 24 does hit.
What did I roll? Whatever. Alright, here's some damage. Do I get... I don't technically get range
think you
attack
get...
damage. Yeah.
Well, I don't think... Yeah, for this particular situation, I don't think you get it, because it's not just you and him within 5 feet of each other. But 12 piercing damage is very good. Fuck yeah.
And then as I continue to run, I have a little bit more movement. I'm just gonna like try to bonus action hide between these tents. So the way I'm flavoring this is like I run across the tents and take a pot shot at them, and then just like duck underneath to the next ones to try and disappear.
Okay, roll your stealth check. Put that on in one of your bubbles, or put it somewhere you can't lose it. So we know what it is.
37, technically.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because it's following Randy around. God damn, Echo, you're up.
Alright, I will go after the same target, and I'm going to use the sharpshooter feat, -5 to the roll for possible 10 plus damage. Alright, so first shot does a 13 hit.
Right, not.
Alright, second shot, it does a 14 hit.
14 hit? No, I'm afraid not. You have a little
Alright.
trouble as the arrows kind of glance off of their, they are mostly made of this rusted metal material.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything for a bonus action.
Okay. Next up is one of these dudes. Let me see how far he can make it. So he will come up to... I gotta make sure he only moves 30 feet. He'll come up to here. I don't think with a fucking 37. I'm not entirely sure it can see Randy. 35, 27. Can't see Randy.
Did I need to roll a stealth?
He hit as a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Looks like javelins can make it 30 feet. So really the only person in range he can see is Drix. So it is going to hurl a javelin at Drix. Does it get to do 2 of these? Nope. Sad face. A 7, I'm assuming, doesn't hit Drix. So I like to think Drix, one of these come rolling forward and chucks a javelin at you, and you just kind of bat it away with one of your weapons, since you're all General Grievous-y and stuff going on over here. Which one was D? This guy is D. How close is he? 25th, no, 17? Ooh. Oh. This one is going to make it... It's going to... From where it is, it's going to throw a javelin at Demos. From where it is. It didn't roll very well. Rolled an 8, which I'm sure doesn't hit Demos. But it is going to use most of its movement speed to begin... It's going to try to reach Demos. I'm going to say that it can't actually make it to Demos because there's a lot of elevation change that has to happen between it and Demos.
Sorry, that's good.
It's all good. But next turn, it seems that it will definitely be able to get up to the same elevation as Demos. Now it's time for the thing. The massive... I've been calling it a Hulk in the middle.
Big boy.
The big boy. He is, you guys watch him, kind of, it doesn't seem as fast or quite as reactive as the smaller ones you guys have been fighting. But you guys watch it kind of. It's gonna move. It's gonna take this many steps forward. That's half its movement speed, and then it's going to make sure that it can actually hit you, any of you, some of you. Yeah, I think it would take a couple of steps forward. It's gonna see several different people, except Randy, because good job, Randy. Doesn't look like he can reach Demos. Yeah, it's really close. I saw that, Trix. It's very close. It is going to take you guys. You guys watch as it raises its arm, the cannon arm, and you guys watch the first time it points its fist to Echo, and you guys watch a whole ass javelin launch out of its arm. Let's see, Echo. It's a 15 hit. Echo's froze. Sad face.
I like to think that's just Brandon standing really still. There he comes.
Is he back? You back, Brandon?
Did you hear
Is it
us,
15
Brandon?
hit?
15 meets.
It looks like it.
He's doing the thing now. He's an asshole. He's doing it now.
He's got that face like it meets. Anyway.
Oh no, he's really freezing.
Yeah, he's just freezing a lot. We'll find out if a 15 hits here in a second, but you guys will watch after the javelin launches at Echo. It pivots its arm again, and as this large cylinder rotates, it fires a second javelin at Drix. Oh, man. Oh! A nat 20.
Oh damn!
Yeah. Oh, man, Drix.
As Deimos sees this happen out of the corner of his eye, he hears the one approaching the building, but he hears this thing like taking it, like the mechanism twisting or something, and his eyes light white, and he communicates via the Thrycreen telepathy to Drix, and says, "Pink cherry, banana berry." And I like to think that it just is confusing enough to where he like does like a little what? And as he does, the javelin like flies behind his head. I'm gonna turn that into a 3. I don't know what its modifiers get, but I'm assuming it's not gonna hit with that.
I believe that is correct. It looks like that's correct. So, Drix, you do very narrowly avoid getting skewered. As Demos said, you turn your head to look at him like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And you feel the wind of the javelin cross over your shoulder. I need Echo to come back so I can tell him what the damage is. You guys, I think most of you would hear the sound as there's a very odd sound of something being snapped back into place.
From one of the robots?
From the Hulk.
Snaps back into place. Like a javelin? Did it make this noise in between rounds?
After its round is over.
Oh no. I don't like that.
Dude's reloading.
Dude is
I think
reloading.
it's something worse than that.
That dude is. Since Randy said that, you guys might notice that the chambers in its arm that were empty now seem to have javelins in them again.
Stock on this, bitches.
Say what? Anyway, go ahead and go, Demos. When Echo gets back, I'll tell him how much damage he may have taken.
So Deimos is gonna hear this one coming up the building. Is it starting to climb, or is it just like?
I would say it's probably at the bottom, like it hasn't started its climb. Like the next turn, it's gonna climb and be up there to you.
So Deimos has these meteors in his hand, and I like to think he's like having to coach himself through it because this is the first time he's had to do it in a high pressure situation. And it's like, all right, extend the fingers, and now 2 at a time. All right, here we go. And I'm gonna fling. How low is the roof from? Like, what's the height disparity? 20 feet, 30 feet, 10?
I was thinking probably about 20.
20? Okay. These are a 10-foot sphere. Yeah, within 120 feet. Whatever. He has to make 2 dex saves. And if he fails, he's going to take For each one he fails, he's going to take 2d6 fire damage.
2 dex saves?
Yes, sir.
First one's a 12.
That fails.
Second one's a 16.
Oh, I think that passes. Let me double check. Spellcasting.
Drix, you're on deck. Zephyr, you're after.
Oh, it's a 14, excuse me. Okay, so he's going to take the 2d6. And then that's my bonus action. I'm going to use my action to pop a Rhymes Binding Ice to lock him in place. So I need another con save.
The Rhymes Binding Ice to lock him in place. Con save. This is a nat 1.
Oh, fantastic. So he's taken 19 damage altogether, 7 fire, 12 ice, and he has a movement speed of 0 for the next turn.
Okay, fair enough. Drix, you're up. Zephyr, you're on deck.
Also, his AC is Echo's AC is 17, so
Yeah,
He doesn't
thank you.
take a hit. Cool. Okay. Echo didn't take any damage that last round.
Oh.
hit.
14 hit.
I'm afraid not. Sorry for him.
Hit with that bonus action swing. 11.
Drix, you find yourself perhaps a little bit overconfident. You come forward like, we're jacked now, but it manages to avoid your swings. Somewhat unusual. It's almost as if it was familiar with your strikes. I think that was your bonus attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Zephyr, what you got?
My turn. My turn. Hold on.
You're real staticky, hard to breaking up.
Oh shoot.
That was better.
Yeah, sorry, me and Ben are playing in front of each other, so I'm having to finagle around him. We blast and let's see, hold on, let me measure and see how far away I am from this guy. Oh yeah, he's in blasting range.
Bro, this is so bad.
Devin, oh no, yeah, it's
Sounds like Barb's in blasting range.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry. The 16 does it.
Okay, at least something made purchase.
I am gonna.
That's all I got.
Which one did you hit? I'm so sorry. My fucking toddler brain can't.
This one up here that's straight ahead.
I don't see your ping straight ahead. So this one?
No, the one behind Pine Tracks.
Okay, behind tracks. Oh, I see. The fucking turn tracker's blocking my shit. All right, Zephyr's.
Way to go, turn tracker.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of room because this is a half screen, and I'm looking at y'all's rolls and all that fun stuff. Zephyr blast a couple Eldritch blast off. Like I like to imagine you missed the first one because you're trying to hit Drix. The second one smashes into its shoulder and it doesn't cause it to stagger per se, but you do find purchase and do a little bit of damage. I've got to find Warforged. I know it's not what they're called, but so I'm gonna call him Warforged A. He's gonna move. He's gonna move his full 30 feet to here. He doesn't see Randy because Randy's fucking hard to see. He's gonna throw a javelin at Zephyr. It's a 14 hit, Zephyr. This should be right. Should be more than 14.
Yeah, I've only got a 12 armor class. We need to fix that.
4 piercing damage as a rusty javelin kind of like catches you through the back of the calf.
And I haven't had my tetanus shot.
That's what I was gonna say. Hopefully you've had your tetanus shot. Apparently not. Sucks to be Zephyr. This guy number C, is he close enough? What's his range here? It's only 5 feet. He is gonna have to probably take a little bit of a step forward. Drix, here it comes. It's gonna do the thing that these guys do. First, it's gonna use its reaction to try to trip you. A 9, so I'm pretty sure that does not trip Drix. Drix, it's almost as if you guys had done battle before. You leap over the hammer as he attempts to trip you with the back of the bill. It does get to use 2 more attacks. Let me see what those roll. One's a 9, one's a 6. Drix, you laugh at it as you kind of deflect both of the hammer blows. I like to think your Githka is almost a blur. It's like, ting ting, you knock both blows out of the way. That was a bad round for that particular beastie there. Randy, you're up. Echo, you're on deck.
I'm about to do a lot of stuff.
I'd do what's called a pro gamer move.
I'm gonna scoot up right beside the big scary guy here.
Okay.
And then I am going to first activate something I haven't used before as a bonus action. I'm going to activate Fighting Spirit, which gives myself advantage on attack rolls until the end of my turn.
Mm-hmm.
It also gives me 5 temporary HP. The next thing I'm going to do, now that I have advantage, is I'm going to swing with them on, and I'm going to throw a Inflict Wounds in it.
I think Inflict Wounds takes an action to cast.
It does, but the action should also be my... Oh, wait, it's just a spell. It's not actually like a physical attack.
Yeah, it's not like... So the way that like the booming blade and stuff works, part of the spell is making a melee attack. That's not how Inflict Wounds works, so you'd have to use a whole action to cast that spell.
In that case, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to swing and I'm going to use Booming Blade.
Okay.
26
hits.
Cool. So...
Let me mark his booming blade here.
There's the damage. I think I do get sneak attack because of...
Because of your swashbuckler.
Mm-hmm. And then... I figured out how to do this right last time, but I think we do it wrong here. No, I did it right. So he only takes 1 thunder damage with the attack, 1 additional thunder damage, but if he moves, he'll take another 10.
Perfect. You guys watch Randy step forward and make a familiar series of attacks. Or a familiar attack.
Okay, so if I cast the spell, I see. So it doesn't actually use my 2 attack, it uses my...
Use your action to cast Booming Blade.
Right. I was thinking about... I already used my bonus action. I was wondering, because I was going to do something else. Actually, I think I'm just going to stay put.
Echo, you're up.
My Echo gonna come off of this roof and slide down this tent right here to get within melee range.
Heard.
As that's happening, I'm going to shoot an arrow, once again using the sharp shooter feat at the one down here.
Okey-doke.
Here's the first shot. Pretty sure a 22 hits.
For sure.
So let's see, this is going to be 10 additional damage, so 17 damage.
Heard.
And then I'm going to melee attack from my Echo's position. Does a 23 hit?
Yes, sir. Another 5.
5.
Alright.
Is he looking bloodied?
It doesn't look great. It looks like you've managed to do a pretty fair chunk of damage to it. You can see it wouldn't be wires and electricity popping, so this would probably be for these things. Looks a little odd. They don't look like any Warforged you've seen damaged before, but it doesn't look great. Looks like like it's not doing good.
Like if I blow on it, it's dead? Or
you might have a little more work to do, but it's definitely bloodied or worse.
Alright, I will do regular attack, not sharpshooter. So, does a 16 hit?
You get to attack as a bonus action with your Echo?
For the Echo's melee attack, that was... Yes, that's my Unleash Incarnation. Whenever you take the attack action, you can make 1 additional melee attack from the Echo's position, 3 times per long rest.
Oh, neat.
So
I see.
It's his attack, Echo's attack, his attack. It's just kind of sandwiched. Weird.
Right.
No, I understand. I said to make sure that he had the action economy to do that. A 16 does meet.
Oof, okay, that's not too bad. The little guys.
So that is 11 damage, which is yeah,
Alright.
11 damage. And that would be the end of my turn.
Okay. This guy who's already moved. I think this guy is probably going to. Can he make it here? He's gonna run up. Can you make it all the way here? So technically, I guess y'all maybe can't see him moving. It is going to run around the Hulk and interpose itself between Echo and Randy. It's gonna try to trip Randy. Use this reaction, try to get a trip on good old Randy there. 14, I don't think hits Randy, is that right?
No.
It's going to make both of its Astro Hammer attacks. Doesn't get advantage because it couldn't knock you over. That's a 21 and a 20. I'm assuming both of those hit?
Yes, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do a reaction shield.
Oh, definitely do reaction.
That
shield, 'cause
lasts the
that'll
whole
block
round,
both of them.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still early enough in
Solid.
initiative where it makes sense to do it here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you prevented a total of 16 damage from yourself.
Three of those? Is that right?
Solid. Well, it landed 2. It would have landed 2 hits.
No, yeah.
No,
I get to do it
3
3
charges
times. Yeah.
That's sick. Deimos over here. You're welcome.
I'll wink at you from it. No, I don't even wink. Just because you're not gonna be able to see it, I just tip the brim of my hat, knowingly. You know.
Fucking
we
cool
know.
ass bug samurai. I goddamn love that bug. All right, let's roll.
The other one that would get to go next here at initiative count 14 is going to use his action to break through Rhyme's binding ice, because that's, he has to use his action to do that. It does manage to climb the rest of the way up to Deimos. It doesn't have any action economy left to try to smack Deimos. I guess
climb
it still
well?
has its reaction. Climbing's only half movement speed, technically,
So it had enough to go.
to get up to you.
It had to go 40 feet plus enough to get over to me.
Let me see how much this is.
Because you said it was 20 feet high. Yeah.
Let's see how much this is. That was 10 away from you. Interesting. Let me make sure this thing. Okay, so it is still 10 feet from you. I'm glad you pointed that out. I had to do some measuring. Its hammer can't reach you, which means it can't reaction swipe you. Deimos lives to sweat another day. And now the Hulk is going to do his thing. It's going to turn. You guys watch as it kind of, without even really looking, its javelin arm points towards our friend Drix over there. Gonna take another shot at him. An 18. That may not hit Drix no more. If it does, that's 6 piercing damage, Drix. And then you guys watch the hand that is...
Yeah,
That meets... Oh, this is not the right stat block. Hold on a second. I'm going to roll that again to see if it rolls worse. Hold on a second. I rolled from the wrong stat block the first time. It rolled a 13 this time, which I'm pretty sure doesn't hit Drix. Very interesting. Sucks to be it, I guess. As another javelin flies over your shoulder, Drix, it is going to use its hand that is essentially a massive hammer to swing on Randy. Oh, what's your AC?
Well, current AC is 22.
Okay, so it rolled a nat 20 for 26.
Okay.
That kind of sucks. You're going to take 25 damage total. It is bludgeoning damage, so this is really a situation where without looking, spins his javelin arm. You guys hear the kind of revolving chamber, or see the revolving chamber and its massive forearm roll over as it shoots another javelin at Drix, and then swings its hammer hand at Randy and just catches him right there where his carapace is missing. Y'all see some pieces of his carapace crack and fall off of him as it deals a pretty solid blow to Randy. Demos, you're up. Drix, you're on deck.
Boy, been a rock and hard place. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upcast Shatter, which is a Constitution save, but because they're made of metal, they have disadvantage on it. It's a 10-foot sphere. I'm gonna get it right about here to where I can get both of them, but not Echo or Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Bueno. So both of them con saves disadvantage. Since I'm upcasting it,
Oof.
extra 1d8.
So both of these guys need disadvantage con checks.
Yes, sir. Measure box, go away. Why won't you go away?
The biggin rolled a 14.
Oh, I think that meets. Oh, that does meet.
The small one
Oh.
rolled a 14.
Okay, they take half of 4d8. Oh, damn, that really sucks. They take,
That
what is that, 9 damage? I will then follow up by throwing 2 more meteors at them. And I need them both to make dex saves. Not at disadvantage. Unless you're just feeling generous.
I tried to be generous earlier with the reroll because I rolled the wrong stat block. I'm trying, y'all. Dex saves. The good news is the biggin's not very dexterous. A 1.
Oh, bueno.
Oh, you said not at disadvantage. Oh,
No, well,
damn
they do need to make 2 checks, however. Because it's
Well,
2 meteors that are going to boom boom.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with 1 because I fucked up. The small one rolled a 14.
Okay, small one meets. We rolled 14 for the first one. What's it roll for the second one?
You're hitting them each with 2?
It's
Oh,
a-
because they
yeah,
balloon. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 10-foot sphere. I'll pop it in chat for you. I'm sorry, I should have done that earlier.
Keep my
That's not
brain
what
a
I
second.
wanted.
The second one was a 9.
Second one's a 9, so it passed 1, failed 1.
They
was gonna
both
say-
passed 1, failed 1, technically.
Okay, that's good. That makes it easier. So they both. Oh well, I guess it's 10, 14, and you only have one of them. I don't know how you want to do that because they're different damage amounts. If you want to have the first one for one and the second one for the other, or you look at a 10 and a 4 for your damage. Halved if they
Yeah.
passed.
Because they let me double check this, make sure. So yeah, they both technically passed on their first roll and failed on their second roll. So we will do it that way. So that's 9 damage total.
Okay. So 9 fire plus the 9 cold, or excuse me, the 9 thunder. Did the thunder or the fire seem to have any greater or lesser effect on them?
No, sir.
Okay, sorry. Sorry to hear that. Continue.
Drix, you're up. Zephyr, you're on deck. You're on mute, Frame. The Warforged got him.
Yeah.
He cutting out for you? Oh.
Fine. Man, I am not swinging good tonight.
Yeah, you're having a hard time.
Let's say the Vivi, they,
You know what?
It's not really being kind to
My
you.
actions are like the 17 hit.
Ooh, the 17
yeah,
does
so
hit.
it does hit.
Bam. Okay, there's that action. But
Okay.
the
Second,
six,
another bonus?
plus another 6 necrotic. That's it.
Alright, extra 1 necrotic. Heard. Rix, you score the first blow as you and this forged are are having a heated battle. And you manage to get first blood, which is always good. The wrestler that scores the first points wins the match 67% of the time. Congratulations. All right. I like Drix's chances against that forged. Zephyr, you're up.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all know what I'm doing. Y'all know what
Pew pew.
Pew pew. If I can find the roly bump, sorry.
They really poly. Zephyr.
Wow.
You're a little
Where is-
distracted by the big forged Hulk that just, almost squashed Randy like a bug.
You know, maybe I need to aim better, I guess.
We gotta figure you out a bonus action. I gotta figure something out for a bonus action. I know where
Give
to put
me
that.
another Eldritch Blast.
I know where to put that. Where to find you a bonus action. I know exactly where to put that.
Got an Eldritch Blast in his boot. Just kicks it out of the phone. Only
Can
one. Doesn't get the multiple like he gets with his action. Pop, pop. I like to think he shoots it off like 1, 2, and then like throws a little kick into the mix and like sends it out the third.
Alright, this guy here, is this A? A's not dead? A is gonna turn and he's gonna try to trip the echo. Because he doesn't know it's an echo.
Yeah, fucking bitch.
A 6 is not going to trip the echo. It's going to use its multi-attack on the echo because it doesn't know it's an echo. I shouldn't have rolled both of them, but we'll see what happens. The first one's a 6, which I'm assuming... Oh, hold on. No. The 6 was the trip. It rolls a 22 to hit the echo.
Dissipated.
So it goes away. I'm gonna be graceful because its second attack was a nat 20, but I shouldn't have rolled that second attack, so we're gonna pretend that roll didn't happen. But it will go ahead and move to Zephyr and make its second attack it would have got to make.
Lovely.
A 9, which I'm pretty sure doesn't hit Zephyr.
No, thank God.
So, I like to think Zephyr, sees it coming and gets, ducked underneath the hammer as it swings its big hammer swing. I'm glad that Nat 20 didn't hit Zephyr. Things would be looking real scary, y'all.
Very scary.
Yeah, things would not be good.
And very soft.
Drix, here we go! Gonna use this reaction to try to trip you. A 15, which I'm pretty sure does not hit Drix. Drix is having fun. A worthy of... What's the Kung Fu Panda meme? Finally, a worthy opponent. It's going to make both of its attacks try to hit you, Drix. It rolled another 15 and a 13. Drix, you're...
Wait, did that thing just start its turn?
It did just start its turn. Does it take some damage?
It takes... 6.
Yeet. Why don't you let me subtract some stuff here? Alright. Cool. Take 6 damage for starting too close to you. You guys can see Cordo's spores beginning to I like to think it sets into the rust and the rust begins to have this kind of, I don't know what colors Cordo's spores are, I just realized that. Kind of glows the same color as Cordo's spores, and you guys can watch the rust begin to accelerate and eat into this creature. It doesn't find any purchase on Drix. I think the top of the round, that's where we're going to stop.